Live from the Mack Sports Complex in Hempstead, New York, this is Hofstra men's basketball. Today, the 4-11 Pride hosts the 9-7 Charleston Cougars. Good afternoon, everyone. Mark Prushin, Cody Norman, and Dan Savarino with you today as Cody, Hofstra looks for its first conference win in the Joe Mahalik era after dropping the opener down at Delaware.
It was a much more better fought game for Hofstra against Delaware. They had an ugly loss against FDU a few days ago, but then Delaware, they really came out. They played well. Again, the same old song and dance. The first half, they play well. They come out hot. They lead in the first half, but the second half is really where they start to struggle. And just no surprise, Delaware's Devon Sadler, he really took over the game in the second half, which we really didn't see in the first half, which was surprising, but then the second half, he really turned it on and took the game over.
The Pride fell 86-79. Sadler, the preseason All-CAA first-teamer, had 24 points in that one, and the majority of them came in that second half. Cody, the Cougars won their opener 75-61 over the reigning conference champions, the James Madison Dukes. Not a bad way to start your tenure in the CAA.
Not at all. We were talking earlier in the day, Mark, that College of Charleston has changed conferences 3 times, and in each one of those times, the 2 previous, this is the 3rd time, they've won that conference the first year in the league. So this team has a legitimate shot to win the CAA. We saw that by defeating the defending champs in JMU. Now, again, JMU isn't as talented as they were last season, but still, that's something to take home.
The Cougars, no strangers to postseason play. Last year, they went one and done in the CBI, but they still advance as the SoCon runners-up. We'll check in with Dan Savarino and get the starting lineups in just a bit. First, let's pause 10 seconds for Station ID on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. Moments away from tip-off. Let's go to Dan Savarino, who is roaming the sidelines.
Guys, same starting 5 for both teams as expected coming into this game for the Hofstra Pride. No injuries are reported. However, for the College of Charleston, Canyon Barry out 2 to 4 weeks. He sprained his right hand, his shooting hand, so he'll be out 2 to 4 weeks after during the Howard game. The message from head coach Joe Mahalik heading into this game was, this is a different team than Delaware. You have to watch out for the post players. They have some of the best bigs in the entire conference, some in the entire country, so you really have to step up your rebounding game and especially your post defense. Cody, Mark, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. We'll get you the starting lineups. First, we'll go for the visitors. The College of Charleston Cougars, for the first time, taking on Hofstra in their second ever game in the Colonial. The point guard is the junior Anthony Stitt, joined by Jonathan Cook, the freshman. Anthony Thomas will also get the start in for the injured Canyon Barry. You heard Dan talk about that. Ajay Baru, named to the preseason All-CAA second team as the small forward. He's the junior. And Willis Hall, one of the top players on this team, maybe one of the biggest surprises all season long for the Cougars, gets the start as well in his senior season. And for Hofstra, Cody, the starting 5 is just what you would expect. Dion Nesbitt, the graduate student, Jamal Robinson, Zeke Upstraw, the other grad student on Hofstra, Jordan Allen, and Stephen Wacone. This has been the starting 5 that Coach Mahalik has gone with now for most of this season. You remember first down low, Musa Kone was getting the starts for Hofstra. He made the change, and now he's going with Stephen Wacone. The College of Charleston comes out in their road black uniforms with the gold numbers, and Hofstra comes out with its white jerseys, blue trim, and blue numbers as well. The head coach of the Cougars is Doug Wojcik. He's in his second season. So 2 seasons at the head of the Cougars in 2 different conferences, and Joe Mahalik, the head coach of the Pride, he is in his first. It'll be Stephen Wacone and Ajay Baru for the tip, and it's won by Kone. Falls on the ground, goes to Nesmith, who flips it behind him to Zeke Upstraw. Drives to the low block himself, puts it up no good. Willis Hall gets the rebound for the Cougars. Underway here at the Mack, 10 seconds in. Right side, it's Stint, and he hands off to Cook. Cook goes back up top for Hall, and out to the left wing for Anthony Stitt. Stint gets a screen from Baru, drives inside the paint from the top, lays it up with the left hand, no good. Rebound tipped around, and it went off Willis Hall and out of bounds. So Hofstra will get the basketball. High pace of play already in this one as the ball's been bouncing around. Allen inbounds to Nesmith, who takes it across on the far side, guarded by Anthony Stint. Bounce pass to Wacone between the circles, flips right wing for Jordan Allen. Allen crosses into the paint. At the right elbow, bounce passes to Wacone at the low block. Wacone spins around Baru, knocks into him, and still gets it in. Wacone with the bucket over Baru, and Hofstra takes a 2-0 lead.
That extra pump fake by Stephen Wanconi down on the right block is what made that possible.
That's going to be a great matchup to watch for all 40 minutes today. Wanconi and Baru down low. Left wing, it's Thomas. Goes to the top of the key for Cook, and he flips behind him for Stitt. Stitt goes back to Thomas, left elbow. Now drives inside the paint at the free throw line. Goes to the corner for Cook on the near side. Shot's no good, overshot it, and Jordan Allen gets the rebound at the low block. Gives to Dion Nesmith, who holds on right wing for Hofstra. Dribbles around a screen from Allen. Backsteps. He's guarded by Stitt. Goes to the corner for Upshaw on the left side. Upshaw is guarded by Thomas. Brings it back left wing. And now crosses to the top of the key. Goes around to Wanconi. Screen drives to the low block himself right side. Puts up a shot. Blocked and out of bounds. Went off Baru. And Hofstra will have the inbound. Baru got his hand down. Got all ball and flipped it out of bounds. It was a shot by Upshaw. And Nesmith will inbound. He'll go to Jordan Allen, who's all alone between the circles. Allen shaded off towards the left. He's got Jamal Robinson behind him, and he flips to Robinson. Robinson guarded by Cook, the freshman. Gets a screen from Wanconi. 15 feet out. Left free throw line extended. Robinson fires no good, and the rebound bounces all the way to Allen, top of the key. Goes right wing now for Upshaw. The three-pointer is good, and the foul. Zeke Upshaw goes to the line to complete a 4-point play. Hofstra goes up 5-0. Upshaw's at the line for one more.
Mario's good ball movement by Jordan Allen. It was a loose ball on the ground. Jordan Allen found the open Zeke Upshaw, who has been the three-point scorer for the Pride all year long. He's really been the outside source to get those three-pointers as he hits the first one to make it a 4-point play for the Pride. That's a big play for them, big confidence booster.
Hofstra goes up 6-0. The foul was on Anthony Thomas, the freshman. His first, the Cougars' first as well. Right wing, it's Thomas. He picks up his dribble, has to flip to the far side for Johnson. Dory Johnson, the senior who enters for the first time. He'll take an open three-pointer from the right wing and drain it. And the Cougars are on the board. 6-3, they trail the Pride.
Aggressive play defensively by the Pride there. Sometimes it'll get you if you try to go for the strip and then you overcompensate for your man. He gets an open look.
Doug Wojcik going to the bench. Left wing now, it's Upshaw. Goes top of the key for Nesmith. Nesmith, right elbow. Now flips to the left elbow for Wanconi. He's short on the jumper. Just offside iron, and Hall grabs the rebound for the Cougars. Hands off to Stitt, shaded off towards the left. Bounce pass intended for Baru in the paint, and there'll be a foul. And it looks like they're going to get Stephen Wanconi. That'll be his first, Hofstra's first as well. So 17:33 on the clock in the first. Hofstra with a 6-3 lead over the Cougars. It'll be Anthony Stitt to inbound on the baseline. Stitt calls for a play. He's got Johnson open on the wing. He's guarded by Upshaw on the right side. Stitt with it, left wing. Goes to the top of the key, tries to get around Wanconi. Flips inside the paint, low block. He's got Baru. Baru puts up a shot, no good. And the rebound flips right to him. On the far side, goes to Stitt back top of the key. Now right side for Johnson. Thomas flips to Hall, top of the key. Now goes left wing for Anthony Stitt, guarded by Jamal Robinson. Stitt passes right side for Thomas. Bounce pass to Hall at the elbow. Now drives in the paint, 5 feet out, loses the basketball. Looked like he was trying to pass it off to Baru at the low block, but Baru was out of position and the ball went right out of bounds. So Hofstra will get possession. Another turnover by the Cougars. Allen inbounds to Nesmith. We'll bring it across half court.
Well done by Jordan Allen on that last defensive possession.
Nesmith gives to Allen right wing, and Allen gets a screen from Wanconi at the free throw line. Now drives to the left block, lays it up with the right hand, no good. Baru the rebound for the College of Charleston. Charleston pushes right to left. Outside pass for Nori Johnson. The three-pointer from the corner is no good. Hall gets the rebound. Now flips to Stitt, right, left wing for three, no good. Stitt tripped, but still gets the rebound in the corner. Bounce pass to Hall, and now throws it back up top for Thomas, right side. He goes for Nori Johnson. Anthony Stitt with it, left wing, as the Cougars working quickly. Stitt drives inside the lane. Shot's no good. And fight for the rebound. It's tipped, and it goes out of bounds off of Jai Baru, the College of Charleston. So Hofstra will get the basketball.
I'll tell you what, Mark, the Pride really could use a timeout here. College of Charleston is running all over them right now. The pace of the game for the Pride seems to be a little bit too fast, especially for the guards of Charleston. They are running all over the place for them. But really, this game is going to be won down on the blocks. We talked about it earlier. Stephen Wanconi, Musa Kone are going to be big keys to this ball game.
College of Charleston, a team that likes to control the pace of the game. They're a low-scoring team, averaging about 63 points per game, and the opponents a little bit over 60 as well. Jordan Allen inside the arc, right side. Puts up a shot, it hits off the backboard, right side. Stephen Waconi's there to get the rebound, tries to throw to Upshaw, top of the key, and it's taken away by Nori Johnson. Johnson with Upshaw in front of him is foul on the shot under the Charleston basket. They might have got Robinson for the foul, who was down there as well, and still will go to the line.
Well, Stephen Waconi telegraphed that pass the whole way on the last offensive possession. He saw at the top of the key, wide open, passed it over, but unfortunately, College of Charleston sniffed that out and got that, so now they're at the line for 2. But Jordan Allen, we see him kind of free shooting right now. He had a career-high 18 points against Delaware, so you can expect his confidence to be there as Johnson hits the first free throw. But there's nothing wrong with that for him to have that confidence. We need shooters. They need shooters to score some more points.
Yeah, the foul was called against Zeke Upshaw, so that'll be his first. It's Hofstra's second of the half. Second shot by Nori Johnson is good. So 6-5, the Cougars on a bit of a run since Hofstra went up 6-0. Left side is Dion Nesbitt, flips to Upshaw in the corner. He'll fire a 3, no good. And Stitt gets the rebound for the Cougars. Stitt quickly drives down the near side, crosses half court, stops at the wing, goes up top for Hall. Now right side for Joe Chearley, who checks in for the first time as a freshman. Flips behind him to David Wishon, and that goes out of bounds. And we'll take a break. 6-5, Hofstra with the lead over the Cougars. 15:40 to go in the first. You're listening to Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. Mark Prusin, Cody Norman, and Dan Savarino with you. Hofstra started the game on a 6-0 run, but the CFC is on a 5-0 run of its own, and they're coming off a big win over the reigning conference champ, James Madison. For more on that, let's check in with a third member of our crew, Dan Savarino.
Guys, it was a packed house in game number 1 in the CAA for the College of Charleston. Grammy Award winner Darius Rucker even sang the national anthem. Commissioner Tom Yeager was there. And now they have won the first game every single time in a new conference that was in the Trans-America Atlantic Conference in '93 and then the Southern Conference in 1998. They've won all 3 of their first ever conference games. Mark, Cody, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. And the Cougars have win number 1 in the CAA. Hofstra is 0-1. The Cougars will have the inbound. It'll be Joe Chearley, the freshman, from the baseline. Top of the key, it goes to Thomas. He's guarded by Upshaw. Now goes right side back to Chearley. Chearley picks up his dribble. He's calling out for Thomas at the wing, and he flips it to him, top of the key. Drives to the elbow, now goes back up top for Chearley. Chearley will call out a play. 10 seconds on the Charleston shot clock. Now down to 6. Chearley dribbles in between the circles in front of Jamal Robinson. Now inside the paint, left side. He's fouled on the layup attempt with 3 seconds on the shot clock. So Chearley takes it himself. He'll go to the line. They'll tag Jamal Robinson for the foul. That's his first, Hofstra's third of the half. Chearley at the line. Joe Chearley, a freshman, only appeared in the first half this season. Chearley with no minutes in the second half, and he misses the first free throw for the College of Charleston.
Mark, the Pride in the man-to-man defense right now, and that last possession, miscommunication of switching mans from going off picks and pick and rolls as Chearley misses the second.
So Chearley can't get the second one. The rebound goes to Upshaw, and Dion Nesbitt brings it across the timeline far side. Nesbitt at the wing goes up top for Jordan Allen, and Allen dribbles off towards the right side and hands to Upshaw. Upshaw holds on. He's guarded by Anthony Thomas, the senior. Upshaw to the top of the key, just inside the arc, flips a pass to an open Allen on the right wing inside the arc. Couldn't get control, so he didn't take the shot. And as he drives inside the paint, he travels at the low block. So it's a turnover for Jordan Allen. Hofstra's second of the game. And the Cougars will get the basketball.
I like the aggressiveness by Jordan Allen. He's going to take a seat, and Musacone will come check in. But again, Jordan Allen, we mentioned a career high 18 points against Delaware. So his confidence offensively is up right now. He'd like to keep it that way.
Well, Hofstra hasn't scored in a little bit more than 3 minutes. They started the game on a 6-0 run. But since then, before the 18-minute mark, Hofstra hasn't scored. Still with the lead, though, 6-5. The inbound goes to Chile as Hofstra's in a full court man-to-man. To Anthony Stitt across the timeline on the near side. Stitt picks up his dribble at the left wing, goes to Baru, top of the key, and goes back to Stitt, left side. Stitt inside the arc, finds Hall in the paint, and now outside pass for Thomas into Baru in front of two defenders in the paint. Shot's no good. Jamal Robinson with the rebound for Hofstra. Presses the other way, and he's fouled by Anthony Thomas on the wing.
College of Charleston, they definitely have the height advantage in this ball game, so Hofstra, they're going to have to be more physical. They're going to have to win the physical battle down low, which they're doing an okay job right now with Baru down there.
Robinson was triple teamed at the wing, and they'll give the foul to Ajay Baru, and that's his first. Top of the key, it's Stephen Wakone, right wing to Jamal Robinson. Robinson between the circles, drives down the left side of the lane, but he stepped on the baseline under the basket as he tried to flip a pass to Stephen Wakone. So Hofstra turns it over. Ajay Baru to inbound, gives to David Wishon. And Wishon goes back to Joe Chile, the freshman guard who will bring it across half court. Goes far side for Thomas, double teamed by Nesmith and Upshaw, and goes top of the key for Chile. Chile, right wing flips to Thomas. Thomas drives baseline on the far side. Shot's no good, and Stephen Wakone comes down with the basketball. Gives to Zeke Upshaw, pushes down the far side. Left free throw line extended, and he has the ball tipped out of his hands by the Cougars. Stitt under the basket, quickly lays it in, and one. Anthony Stitt will go to the line for one more. Charleston has the lead, 7-6.
Well, that started with the 7-2 center, David Wishon, who blocked the shot, and then Stitt. What an athlete he is. He's shown so far in these first few minutes of this ball game. He can get from coast to coast with the best of them, and he finished off the play for the N1. Chance for 3 points here.
So Charleston goes ahead on a 7-0 run after Hofstra had a 6-0 lead. Stitt at the line for an and one. He misses it off front iron. Comes inside from the free throw line. Tries to get the rebound, and there's a foul on the rebound attempt. Charleston will keep possession.
Those are little mistakes that'll lose you ball games, and they can't do that, especially with a talented team like College of Charleston. You have to play an almost perfect game, and this is conference, Mark. This is where, you make your money. This is where they're going to start winning ball games. They're going to have to win pretty soon.
They'll get Coney for the foul, and he'll take a seat. Chris Jenkins enters for the first time today. Top of the key, it's Anthony Stitt with it for Charleston. Goes off left wing. Fenori Johnson, he's got the open three, takes it. Shot's no good. Chris Jenkins is called for a foul as he gets the rebound way out on the right elbow. Joe Mahalik furious with the call. They'll call a foul against Chris Jenkins on the rebound attempt. So Charleston will once again get the basketball.
Yeah, Jenkins was boxing out, and I think where they got him, he has extended his arm. You can't extend your arm. We talked about this before. Once you extend your arm, it's like football. You can't do that.
Stitt has it right wing off the inbound. Is blocked by Stephen Wakone. Gets rid of it to Hall on the wing. Hall goes down low for Theo Johnson, who checks in. He'll drive baseline and take it himself for his first 2 points of the game. 9-6. College of Charleston now with the lead. They're on a 9-0 run. Dion Nesbitt brings it across, dead center. Passes off to Zeke Upshaw, far side. Upshaw gets a screen from Kone, doesn't use it. Instead, drives down the far side of the lane and is fouled before he can put up a shot. Let's see who they get with the foul. It'll go against Charleston. That'll go against Theo Johnson. That'll be his first.
And that's what the Pride have to do. If they're going to have any chance of scoring points, they have to get down low in the paint, draw the fouls, try to get to the free throw line as much as possible.
Dion Nesbitt off the inbound, goes to Musa Kone, top of the key. Musa Kone passes to Nesbitt, who goes off right side, gives to Jordan Allen. Allen guarded by Johnson. Down low, flips to Musa Kone, who lays it in for two. Quick 2 points for Kone as he gets on the board And Hofstra breaks their scoring drought, and they're now within 1, 9-8. Charleston with the lead. Anthony Stitt with it, top of the key. Flips off right side for Nori Johnson. Johnson guarded by Nesmith, takes it in between the circles, gives to Hall. Hall lobs it under the basket for Baru. Baru can't get the shot, and he tips it back out to Stitt. Now right wing for Johnson, bounce pass to Baru, 10 feet out on the right side. Baru tries to get around Kone, steps inside, flips up a pass, or a shot, and he's fouled by Kone. Shot's no good. The foul's going to go on Musa Kone, his second. Baru will be at the line to shoot 2.
Well, so far this game, Kone and Wakone have been doing a decent job against the big men of Charleston. As Doug Wojcik's going to make another change, we're going to see David Wishon come in again. Speaking of Wojcik, Mark, he was a teammate of David the Admiral Robinson as Baru knocks down the first free throw. And a cool story, actually, found out that David Robinson won the CAA MVP award in 1986, I believe it was, and he actually handed over the MVP award to Wojcik, who was his teammate at the time, for his unselfish play. That's pretty cool.
Doug Wojcik, an alum of the Naval Academy, former member of the CAA, so Doug Wojcik with plenty of experience in the CAA as a player and now a coach. Second free throw is no good. Rebound goes to Nesmith, who dribbles with it on Hofstra's far side. Gets a screen from Stephen Wakone, takes it to the top of the key. Drives inside the paint, flips to Kone far side. Can't get the shot to go. He was wide open. Gets his own rebound, has it on the floor. There's a whistle, and they'll call it travel. It'll be a turnover for Stephen Wakone. He traveled as he came down to the ground, kind of rolled over. Charleston will get the basketball. Willis Hall will inbound.
That's a shot that Stephen Wakone just has to make. Deion Nesmith made a beautiful pass, penetrated into the lane and dished it out to his big man down low, but just missed the bunny.
Hall goes to Stitt. Hofstra works in its full court defense, and Stitt goes to Nori Johnson, far side. Johnson double teamed by Upshaw and Nesmith and gives back to Stitt up top. Stitt dribbles off towards the right side, gets a screen from Hall, doesn't use it. Now flips right side for Johnson, a three-pointer, swish. Nori Johnson drains the three. He's on the board, and the College of Charleston takes a 13-8 lead, 8 minutes in. Deion Nesmith driving down the right side at the low block, puts it up with the right hand, no good. Wakone, the rebound, is blocked away. Wakone wants a foul, but it's not called. Stitt drives the other way with it. Now goes left wing for Nori Johnson, another three-pointer, no good. Missed short. Hall keeps from going out of bounds, and a late call. He did step on the baseline. He stepped out of bounds. It's a turnover for the Cougars, and Hofstra will have the basketball when we come back. 13-8. Cougars with the lead. 11:44 to go. You're listening to Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. The Cougars are on a 13-2 run, and they have a 13-8 lead over the Hofstra Pride. A little bit over 8 minutes into this one, and before Cody and I were talking about Doug Wojcik and his experience in the conference. He's got plenty of experience playing and plenty more as a head coach. Let's check in with Dan Savarino with more.
Guys, second season head coach Doug Wojcik. behind the bench. He used to play for Navy. He was a 3-year starting guard, actually. Also was a track star there as well. And he also coached at a couple of different places, but he led the Golden Hurricanes at Tulsa for a few seasons before being fired for what they say season ticket sales were a decline. He's been with Charleston ever since.
Hofstra gets the inbounds, takes it the distance, but Zeke Upshaw has it poked out of his hands by Theo Johnson. So Hofstra turns it over. Cougars get the ball. Stitt inbounds, finds Nori Johnson with it on the far side. Johnson shaded off to the right side on the wing, guarded by Nesbitt. Now goes up top for Stitt. Right side for Hall, and Hall gives off to Johnson. Johnson top of the key. Left corner for Nori Johnson. He takes an open three-pointer and drains it. Johnson's third made three of the afternoon, and the Cougars go up 16-8.
It's a 16-2 run now for the College of Charleston.
Right wing, it's Dion Nesbitt, guarded by Anthony Stitt. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Dion Nesbitt, open left side, shot's no good, just inside the arc, and Anthony Stitt gets the rebound. Stitt now goes right side for Theo Johnson, and Johnson goes into the paint for Baru. Top of the key for Stitt. Left wing now for Willis Hall. He knocks down a three-pointer. Timeout called by Hofstra, 19-8. The College of Charleston with the lead over Hofstra. It's now a 10-0 run in less than 2 minutes for the Cougars. And Cody, it just seems like after going up 6-0 for Hofstra, they've only scored 8 points since going up 6-0. But since then, it has been all Cougars. It just seems like Hofstra can't keep up with their high pace of play.
They really can't. It's the ball movement around the perimeter, Mark. The three-point shots, and when you have guys like Hall who can hit the three-pointer, a big guy like that, that just shows how deep your roster is and how talented it is. And it's the Hofstra Pride, they can't seem to get around these picks and screens, and the ball is moving too quickly for them. There's a lot of spinning and turning around on the defensive side for the Pride.
Well, Willis Hall, those were his first 3 points, but he has 5 double-doubles this season, third in the conference, and not given a single preseason accolade, the senior coming out of the SoCon. Jordan Allen, top of the key, passes to Stephen Wacone, right side of the lane. He loses control of the basketball. It's on the floor, and they call it jump ball. Possession going Charleston's way, and they take over off the jump ball. Stephen Wacone just lost control of the basketball. Looked like he tried to bounce and spin around inside the paint. Couldn't hang on to it. So the Cougars will have the inbound.
6 turnovers now for the Pride in this half. We're just about halfway through the first half.
Cougars trying to capitalize off another Hofstra turnover. It will be Willis Hall, the senior, to inbound for the Cougars. Finds Nori Johnson, and he passes back to Joe Chile, who tries to get around Jordan Allen, and he does get across the timeline. Joe Chile running the point now for the Cougars. He shades off towards the right and hands to Nori Johnson. Johnson with the top of the key. Bounce passes to Chile, left wing. Chile guarded by Chris Jenkins. Takes it back up top, slips as he tries to go around Jordan Allen, and they're going to call the foul against Allen. So Allen for tripping Chile, and Charleston is in the bonus. They'll shoot a 1-and-1. Hofstra's 8th foul of the half. Jordan Allen's first, and it sends Chile to the line for a 1-and-1.
What happened there, Mark, was Jordan Allen tried to get around the screen set by Hall, but he couldn't get around it in time, so his leg got in the way as the first 1-and-1 is good by Chile. But it was kind of inadvertent play right there by Jordan Allen. His legs just kind of swung out of the way, tripped Chile, and they called the foul.
Cougars as a team have had their struggles from the free throw line, shooting 65%. Of course, you compare that to Hofstra. The Pride are shooting barely 56%. The second free throw is no good. It's an 11-0 run, though, for the Cougars. They have a 20-8 lead. Right wing for Hofstra, it's Jordan Allen, under 10 to go in the half, and Allen is fouled as he drives, Robinson, he's fouled as he drives inside the lane. And he'll be at the line to shoot 2. Foul's going to go against Joe Chile, his first, the Cougars' 4th.
That's that hand check that we've seen all year so far.
So off the inbound, it goes to Zeke Upshaw, shaded off towards the left. He is guarded by Thomas. Upshaw to the top of the key, drives inside the arc, spins around in the paint and loses the basketball. Goes right to Willis Hall at the low block. Hall flips to Stitt and now to Thomas, left wing inside the arc. Dribbles up to the top of the key, goes right side for Nori Johnson. Johnson bounce passes to the low block for Baru. He puts up a two-pointer, no good. From 5 feet out, rebound goes to Hofstra and Jamal Robinson. Robinson across the near side goes to Jordan Allen, far side. Allen picks up his dribble at the free throw line and goes back to Robinson. Robinson carries it over to the right, gets a screen from Waukone, but he's double-teamed by Stitt and Baru and picks up his dribble. He's got Allen open, 10 feet out on the far side on the baseline, and Allen is fouled as he drives inside, and he'll go to the line for 2. They'll get Willis Hall on the foul. Hall's first. Charleston's 5th of the first half, so it puts Jordan Allen at the line to shoot free throws. And Cody, you and I were talking about this before the game. It's an area where it's been clear Allen has had to improve his game, and he hits the first. Had a game where he went 1 for 10 against Central Connecticut. That was a close game that Hofstra was able to pull out in the end. But Allen has had his struggles from the free throw line this season. He hits the first, 20-9, and he hits the second. So Hofstra cuts Charleston's lead to 10. Snaps the 11-0 run.
Well, a pretty glaring stat for Jordan Allen is he's 0 for 10 in the last 5 minutes of ball games at the free throw line. So things that you called crunch time free throws, Jordan Allen has been struggling at those.
Anthony Stitt with it near side, passes far side for Willis Hall. Hall drives to the right wing, guarded by Allen, picks up his dribble and has to backstep and goes to Nori Johnson on the right wing. Johnson passes back up top for Stitt. Stitt from straight away, dribbles with the right hand, goes off towards the right, and passes to Nori Johnson on the wing. Johnson back up top to Hall. Now left side for Stitt. 9 on the shot clock for Charleston, and Stitt is fouled by Waukone between the circles.
Again, the Pride just can't figure out this offense of the College of Charleston. They're setting picks, doing everything basically textbook. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just setting picks and rolls. But right now they're either drawing fouls or can't get around those picks. As we just saw, Stephen Waukone tried to shut off the lane for Stitt, but he got in the way, drew the foul, bumped into him, and that's what's going to happen. Getting foul trouble early. They already have 9 team fouls.
A lot of outside fouls, too, outside the paint.
Yep,
Not
absolutely.
even shooting fouls. But since Charleston is in the bonus, that's how they've been getting their shots. So it's a 1-and-1 for Stitt. Stitt with 2 points already. And he hits the first. So 21-10. The Cougars with an 11-point lead over Hofstra after falling behind quickly 6-0. Stitt's second shot looking to go up by 12. And he hits it. Cougars up by 12, 22-10. With 8:45 to go until the break. Inbound goes to Jordan Allen for Hofstra. Pride go left to right. Allen between the circles. Dribbles off to the left side. Gets a screen from Darren Payne, who enters for the first time. And Allen will drive down the left side of the lane. And he's fouled at the low block. He'll go to the line for 2. They'll get Hall again for the foul, his second.
It was a hard foul right there by Hall. And Jordan Allen, again, being aggressive on the left side, taking it in for the free throws. We mentioned he struggles from the line at times, mainly the last parts of the game. He's okay in the middle parts of the game. They're going to need these points as much as possible because, as we've seen so far, the only times that they're getting much scoring production is from the free throw line.
And Allen had a career-high 18 points last time out against Delaware as he hits the first free throw. So Jordan now a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. He wasn't really a factor late in the game against Delaware because he fouled out. Some substitutions for the College of Charleston. Jonathan Cook, the starter, re-enters. And Jordan Allen's second shot now upcoming. Allen with 3 points already today. Hofstra, though, down 11, and he's able to hit the second. And Hofstra trails by 10. Anthony Stitt crosses the timeline in front of Zeke Upshaw. Goes around a screen from Johnson and goes off, that's Thomas, and holds on left wing. Goes to Jonathan Cook, left corner. Passes to Baru in the paint. He's rejected by Payan, and they'll call the jump ball. Possession arrow going Hofstra's way. A great play by Darren Payan. He got all ball, and he got possession back to Hofstra. Great defensive play by Payan.
And just like Darren Payan does, he doesn't have any emotion at all. It's just like he's been there, done that. Great play.
Between the circles, Jamal Robinson drives inside. 10 feet out right side. Drops it in for 2. On the jumper, Robinson scores for the first time today. 22-14. Hofstra behind Charleston. It's Thomas up top. Now goes right side for Stitt. Stitt looks for an open man. He's got Thomas in the corner. Thomas drives baseline, picks up his dribble in the paint, and he took steps. That's a turnover for the Cougars. And Hofstra, for the first time today, seems a little fired up. 22-14, Hofstra trails the Cougars, 7:47 to go, and we'll take a break. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. Mark Prusen and Cody Norman with you. Hofstra down 22-14 to the Cougars. Hofstra has the basketball after the timeout. Let's check in with Dan Savarino behind the Hofstra huddle.
Mark Cody inside the Hofstra huddle. Head coach Joe Mihalik was talking about you have to keep that power going. You got to keep it going. He was complimenting Darren Payne on his strong play in the few minutes he just came in. Jordan Allen as well for the strong play he was doing, and as well as Dion Nesmith as he just came back in. You need the power, keep going, and rebound.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Pride will have the basketball after the turnover by Anthony Thomas. He traveled with it for the College of Charleston. Cougars with just 3 turnovers in the game. Meanwhile, Hofstra has 7. The Pride got out to an early 6-0 lead. It took them less than 2 minutes to get up to that. But the Cougars stormed back with 8 in a row and have added onto it since. 22-14, Hofstra trails. Jordan Allen with it left wing. He's guarded by Thomas. Gets a screen from Darren Payne and brings it back between the circles. Picks up his dribble, finds Payne, left elbow. Payne spins around Baru, back steps, and misses the shot off front iron. Rebound grabbed by Anthony Stitt. Stitt down the far side, finds Thomas left wing. Thomas drives inside the paint, lays it up with the right hand over Payne for 2 points. 24-14, Cougars with the lead. Left side, it's Dion Nesmith for Hofstra. Tries to get around Thomas, and he does, sprinting between the circles. Right wing hands off to Jamal Robinson. Robinson brings it back up top, picks up his dribble as he's double-teamed. Pass inside the paint, under the basket for Payne, and he is fouled. He'll be at the line, he'll shoot. Foul's going to go against Anthony Stitt. That's his first, and that is Charleston's 6th foul. Payne will be at the line to shoot.
Darren Payne is being aggressive since coming into this game. We heard Dan Savarino allude to it earlier, as it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the floor for the officials.
Officials will look like they'll go over to the monitor. We're going to check on who the foul was on. But for Darren Payne, he's a player, Cody, and he has had an interesting first 2 seasons in college basketball. Last year, the plan was to redshirt him and save him, let him develop. Well, that Hofstra had some personnel issues early on last season, and Payne had to essentially burn that red shirt and play out last season. He elects to stay at Hofstra along with Kone, Allen, and Wakone as one of the only returning scholarship players. His playing time has increased this season. We have seen him contribute significantly on offense, but it's been his defense that has been mainly where Payne has struggled. But today, that block on Baru, which forced the jump ball, we're seeing Payne play a little bit more aggressively than we're used to, and this time he draws the foul.
Yeah, he really has. He's butted into a good player for this team. Last year he had some growing pains, but this year his confidence is up, and he's playing a lot better, and he's still got 2 more years to go. A guy who can be a leader for this team, and he's seen as a leader for this team.
Payne's front end is good. So 24-15, Hofstra gets within 9, and Payne gets on the board. Payne on the floor with Upshaw, Robinson, Nesmith, and Allen. Payne's second free throw is good. So Pan with 2 points and Hofstra within 8. 24-16, Cougars with the lead. We approach the 7-minute mark of the first half. Anthony Stitt brings it across half court on the far side, guarded by Zeke Upshaw. Gets a screen from Thomas, but Upshaw stays with him. Stitt with it left wing. Passes right side now for Nori Johnson. And Johnson goes back to Stitt up top. 15 seconds on the Charleston shot clock. They're in control as Stitt dribbles with the right hand, still up top, straight away. Thinks about going inside, back steps, now goes left wing for Johnson. Johnson bounce pass to Baru. Couldn't handle the pass cleanly, but he spins around, takes it a few more feet out, and lays it in for 2. Baru with 3 points, and the Cougars go up 26-16. Right side, it's Robinson to Jordan Allen at the wing. Back to Robinson up top, and Robinson picks up his dribble. He's guarded by Nari Johnson. Goes right wing for Zeke Upshaw. Upshaw drives inside the paint, and there's a foul before his layup attempt. And it looks like they'll tag Johnson with the foul. It'll be Theo Johnson, the sophomore, who will get tagged for the foul. Charleston's 8th of the half. Johnson's 2nd, and it puts Upshaw at the line to shoot. Zeke with 4 points. That's a team high for Hofstra, and now he has 5 points to extend his team leading points. 26-17. Hofstra, again, gets within single digits behind the Cougars. Upshaw's second shot is good. So Hofstra as a team, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. 26-18, they trail the Cougars. Right side, it's Stitt. Now goes left side for Thomas. Thomas passes off to the wing for Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson goes top of the key for Nori Johnson. Back up to Stitt. Stitt drives down right side of the lane. Kick out to Johnson. Thinks about a three-pointer from the corner. Drives baseline. Passes back up top for Johnson. Johnson to Stitt. Left wing for 3. No good. Missed off back iron. Rebound is tipped around to the corner between Allen and Baru. And Baru goes out of bounds, but they're going to call a foul against Allen for pushing. So Allen shoved Baru out of bounds, and he'll get called for the foul. It'll be Allen's 2nd, and that's Hofstra's 10th. Baru is going to be at the line. He'll have 2 shots.
Well, College of Charleston is ranked 57th in the nation rebounding. It was about 39 rebounds per game. But right now, Hofstra is sticking right with them as Baru nails the first free throw. 15-14 total rebounds. Really, you can't say that's the story of the game. We thought that might be the story of the game. If Hofstra can win the rebounding battle, then they would have a good shot to win this ball game.
Baru's second shot is no good. 27-18 the score with 5:45 to go in the first half. Right wing, it's Zeke Upshaw. He dribbles, calls for Dion Nesmith. Hands off to Dion, top of the key. Dion now hands to Upshaw, left wing to Allen on the left. To up top for Darren Payne. He'll take an open three-pointer and miss it badly off the backboard. And the rebound is grabbed by Stitt for the Cougars. Stitt shaded off towards the right, and he hands to Nori Johnson. Back up top for Thomas and goes to Theo Johnson, left wing. Johnson to Stitt in the corner, floats a pass to Baru under the basket, and he's fouled by Pan on the put-up. Baru will go back to the line. He'll have 2 shots.
This could be Baru's 3rd trip to the free throw line.
Excuse me, they'll get Nesmith for the foul on that. For Dion, that's his 2nd foul. Nesmith, one of the shorter players on Hofstra's roster, fouled against one of the tallest on the Cougars. Baru misses the first. 27-18, the Cougars with the lead over Hofstra. This is the first ever game between the two schools, and it comes in Hofstra's conference home opener. 2nd game of conference season for both of these schools. Hofstra off a loss to Delaware, and the Cougars off a win against James Madison. Baru's 2nd is good, puts the Cougars back up by 10. We approach the 5-minute mark of the first half. Dion Nesmith crosses half court on the far side, guarded by Stitt. Drives to the wing and hands off to Jamal Robinson. Robinson dribbles with the right hand and holds on left wing. Robinson gets a screen from Payne briefly, drives to the right elbow, now takes it down low himself and hooks it in with the right hand for 2. 4 points for Robinson. Hofstra's within 8. Thomas, top of the key, goes right side for Nori Johnson. Johnson now goes between the circles for Stitt to Theo Johnson, left wing. Back up to Stitt, and now to Nori Johnson. Right wing, he'll take a 3 and drain it. Over Dion Nesmith. 14 points for Johnson. And the Cougars go up 31-20.
That's 5 3-point field goals now for College of Charleston. They're 5 of 11.
4 of them from Nori Johnson. There's a foul on Hofstra's end. It's going to go against Anthony Stitt, his 2nd and the Cougars 9th of the half, and that'll put Dion Nesmith at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 for the Pride.
And on the last 3 games for College of Charleston, as the front end is good for Nesmith, the last 3 games, College of Charleston has really been playing their best basketball this season. If you look at the stat category, they basically improved in every category: points per game, scoring defense, field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, as Nesmith misses his second one.
Rebound is grabbed by Johnson of the Cougars and now goes right side for Theo Johnson. Johnson passes to Baru just outside the paint, 5 feet out. Now spins inside and puts up a shot over Payan and knocks it down. Baru with 7 points, and the Cougars' lead is extended to 12. 33-21. 4:05 to go in the first. Dion Nesmith gets a screen from Upshaw, goes right wing and hands to Chris Jenkins. Jenkins drives around the arc and has it poked away by Joe Chile. He'll drive inside the paint, pick up his dribble, flip pass to Theo Johnson, who slams it in with 2 hands. And the Cougars go up 35-21, their largest lead of the game.
Coach Mihala going with a small lineup right now. Tallest player out there is Darren Payan, with Musakone and Wanconi both on the bench.
Dion Nesmith, low block, is fouled on the shot. Shot is no good, but Nesmith will go to the line for 2. When we come back, 35-21, the CFC on top of Hofstra. 3.5 to go in the first. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. Mark Prusen along with Cody Norman. Hofstra trails the Cougars 35-21, under 4 minutes to go in the first half. And the Cougars, their second ever game as a member of the CAA, traveling on the road for the first time in the Colonial and coming out of the SoCon. You can imagine their travel schedule is a little different than usual. For more on that, let's check in with Dan Savarino.
Guys, for the College of Charleston, the furthest they've ever traveled before joining the CAA was North Carolina. This weekend, they go to 2 different places. They go to Hofstra on Long Island, of course, right here in Hempstead, and then they go up to Boston against Northeastern in just a couple of days. But true road games have been very friendly to this team the last couple of years. In the 2 years under Doug Wojcik, 14-3 in true road games. Second most road wins last year in all of Division I. And according to Coach Wojcik, he said nothing more enjoyable than winning on the road. Guys, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. And the Cougars have had success on the road. 14-3 in true road games the last 2 seasons, one of the tops in the nation. Nesmith drains both of his free throws after being fouled, so that cuts the deficit. 35-23. CFC with the lead in the basketball. Far side, it's Chile on the wing. Chile, guarded by Jamal Robinson, dribbles with the left hand and now passes to Nori Johnson, but it goes to the backcourt. Was not touched by Upshaw before it was picked up by Johnson. That'll be a backcourt violation against the Cougars. That's a turnover, Hofstra basketball.
Well, Mark, the story of this season so far, I think we all know, is the lack of depth on the Hofstra bench. Right now, College of Charleston's bench is outscoring Hofstra's bench 19-4. That can never help a team when you don't have a bench who can score.
Nesmith takes an open three-pointer from the left wing, no good. Rebound grab by Theo Johnson. Right side for Chile, now to the wing for Nori Johnson. Left wing, it's Theo. down to the corner for Thomas. Thomas guarded by Allen, has to pick up his dribble inside the arc of the wing. Flips back up top for Johnson, right side Shealy, and out the wing for Nori Johnson. Guarded by Nesbitt. It's poked out of bounds. Nesbitt thinks it's Hofstra ball, but they'll give it to the Cougars. Nesbitt poked it out of Nori Johnson's hands. Inbound by Theo Johnson, goes to Joe Shealy, right wing. Shealy, top of the key for Thomas, flips inside the paint for Baru. Baru drives around Payan, and Payan fouls Baru. From 5 feet out, Baru will head back to the line. He's 3 of 6 already. And Payan, that will be his first foul today.
Well, Mark, Baru's having his way down there on the blocks, especially with Stephen Wanconi and Musa Kone both on the bench right now. Darren Payan has to deal with Baru, who hits his first free throw. And he's basically drawing a foul each time he goes down on the block. Every time he's down on the block, he does a couple pump fakes, a spin, and puts it up, and he gets knocked around and gets to go to the line.
Stephen Wakone and Musa Kone both on the bench with 2 fouls. The second shot is no good. There'll be a foul, though, on the rebound attempt. It'll go against the Cougars, and they'll call it against Anthony Thomas. So Hofstra will have free throws on their end now. It'll go to Darren Payan. He'll shoot.
There's an old saying sometimes that there's 2 types of referee groups. There's some referees who let the boys play, and there's some who do not. And these 3 right now are not necessarily doing that. A lot of ticky-tacky fouls as Payan misses his first free throw. But we've seen a lot of trips to the line for both teams.
So Payan's first is no good. Darren with just 2 points in the ballgame. He's 0 for 2 from the field, so those have both come from the line. His 4th free throw attempt of the day is good. So 36-24, Hofstra down by 12. 2:45 to go in the first half. It's Willis Hall who's back in the game on the near wing. Goes off to Theo Johnson, guarded by Nesbitt. Top of the key for Shealy, right side Nori Johnson. To Willis Hall in the corner, hounded by Jordan Allen. Hall hasn't dribbled yet, but passes out to the wing for Shealy. Shealy thinks about a pass to Johnson, now flips off to the wing, down to the corner for Nori Johnson. Pass intended for Baru is tipped out of bounds by Darren Payan. So the Cougars will have the inbound on the baseline.
Darren Payan is working hard down there. You can't question that. He's doing everything he can against Baru.
With 16 seconds on the shot clock, Shealy gets set for the inbound for the Cougars. Shealy looking for an open man, flips to Baru, but it's taken away by Payan. Ball is on the ground, and Shealy is double teamed in the corner. And Doug Wojcik is going to have to call timeout. So good defense off the inbound, the double team. Payan was a part of that. And Shealy hounded in the corner. And before he had a chance to step out of bounds, Doug Wojcik calls timeout for the Cougars, their first taken timeout of the half. Cougars ahead by 12 over the Pride. Their leading scorer is Nori Johnson. He's got 14. Now, he came in to this game averaging about 5.5 points per game for the season. But since the calendar turned to 2014, he's been one of the top scorers on this team. So in the year 2014, Johnson averaging about 13 points per game, and he's got 14 already today. He's 4 of 7 from three-point land, and you put that into perspective. Hofstra as a team is 1 for 4.
Yeah, he's got the hot hand. Sometimes that's what happens. It's a new year for him. Maybe a New Year's resolution. You never really know, but he certainly picked the right time to get hot.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Willis Hall will inbound from the near side corner for the Cougars. He finds a Jahi Baru at the wing, and Baru right away is fouled by Darren Payan. Jordan Allen is explaining to Darren that's not a situation that you want to be too physical in and draw the foul, because it's going to send Baru to the line.
It's really a lose-lose situation right there, especially with the way this game's been called. You got to expect that to be called a foul, but again, it's aggressive. You can't tell a guy not to be aggressive as Baru hits his first free throw, and that's really where he's making a living right now. He's 5 for 9, has 9 total points. Baru's offense really it's come from the free throw line. 5 of 9, he's got the second one. And remember, most of this has been since Darren Payan came into the game as the big guy to guard him on Hofstra. His second shot is no good, but the rebound is grabbed by Terrence O'Donohue. The freshman enters for the first time today, subbed in between free throws, and he draws a foul. Going for the rebound. And he'll be at the line now to shoot. So we'll see who the foul was called on. Very quick whistle, but Hofstra giving the Cougars every opportunity to score from the line in this first half. Yeah, this will be try number 20 and 21 from the line for the College of Charleston in this first half as O'Donohue hits the first one, but
Yeah, the foul was called on Jordan Allen, so that is his third. So Jordan is going to play the entire second half of this game with 3 fouls. He's already fouled out of 5 games this year, the most recent, last time out against Delaware. O'Donoghue's second, no good. Rebound grab by Payan. He's all alone. 2:20 to go in the half. Hofstra with the basketball, trailing by 14. Dion Nesmith up top. He's guarded by Joe Chile. Shades off towards the right and now goes back up top for Zeke Upshaw. Upshaw right elbow, now down to the low block. He's fouling the shot attempt, and he'll be at the line to shoot. 2, as there's a player on the ground for the College of Charleston. Didn't look like he came down or hit his head, but it could have been his leg. And he's up. That's Theo Johnson. That's who the foul was called on. So that's Johnson's third as well. So Allen for Hofstra, Johnson, Theo Johnson for the Cougars, both with 3 fouls. Zeke Upshaw at the line to shoot for the Pride. Zeke is a perfect 3 for 3 today. Hofstra with just 2 missed free throws of 15. Upshaw's first is good as it rattles around the rim and drops in. 38-25. Hofstra trying to cut down as much as they can before the halftime break, as Upshaw will have his second shot upcoming. His second is good. 38-27. This will be 38-26. Hofstra trails the Cougars. Top of the key, it's O'Donoghue. Flips left wing for Johnson. Johnson goes top of the key for Chile. And Chile backsteps with 20 on the shot clock, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Cougars with a 12-point lead over the Pride. Joe Chile walks off towards the right wing. Still dribbles with that left hand. Gets a screen and now goes to the left wing where he picks it up. 9 on the shot clock. Down low to O'Donoghue. Can't slam it in. Rebound grab by Payan for Hofstra, and he passes to Zeke Upshaw. He'll take an open 3-pointer from the wing and drain it. Zeke's second made 3 of the day. 38-29. Hofstra within 9. Joe Chile, far side. Bounce passes to Nori Johnson. Johnson goes up top. Theo Johnson back to Joe Chile on the left. O'Donoghue in the corner. His pass intended for Baru is grabbed by Musa Kone, who re-enters for the last minute and 10 seconds of the half. Upshaw, another open 3 from the wing. He knocks it down. 6 straight points for the graduate Upshaw. And Hofstra's on an 8-0 run. 38-32 with 60 seconds to play in the first half. Joe Chile with it near wing. The Mack on its feet. Right wing now, it's Chile. Still dribbles. Down to the low block. Goes through 3 defenders. Shot's no good. Robinson and O'Donoghue fight for the rebound. They'll call a jump. And they'll give it to Hofstra. Unless they called a foul. They did. They called a foul against O'Donoghue. So that'll send Robinson to the line to shoot.
How about this? Hofstra on an 8-0 run, a chance for a 10-0 run and get right back into this game after seemed they were in the doldrums of the game for basically this entire half. But since Musa Kone came into this game a few minutes ago, he checked in and kept Baru in check down on the blocks. That's really what was the problem for them for the remainder of this half, as Robinson hits his first free throw. But now Musa Kone is going to come check out. They're going to get a little bit smaller, try to get some shooting in there, but again, if you can keep Baru off the free throw line and keep him in check down there, they have a chance.
And Hofstra had been doing that before Wakone and Kone both came out. Robinson's second free throw is good. It's a 10-0 run for the Pride. 38-34, the score with 45 seconds to the halftime break. Hofstra is within 4. Joe Chile with a far side corner. For the Cougars, dribbles off to the left and hands to Theo Johnson, guarded by Chris Jenkins. 20 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Right side O'Donoghue. He hands to Joe Chile, top of the key. Chile at the free throw line. Left elbow goes around Upshaw. No foul. Shot's no good. Tip it attempt by the Cougars. It's Baru. They'll call
offensive goaltending, I believe.
The offensive goaltending against the Cougars. It'll go against Baru. So Hofstra will get the basketball. Good call by the officials. Dion Nesmith will walk it across half court. 20 seconds on the game clock in the first half. Shot clock is off. Hofstra's within 4. Dion Nesmith dribbles. He's guarded by Joe Chile. Steps inside and back steps. Does that a couple of times. Now holds on. 9 on the game clock. Now down to 5. Bounce pass to Upshot. Open trip to the lane. Low block. Can't get the shot to go and no foul. Rebound is grabbed by Nori Johnson at the buzzer. Shot's no good. He takes a long 3-pointer from about 40 feet. Joe Mahalik furious with the officials. probably wanting a foul on the other end on the upshot attempt. There were 3 defenders down there. The refs say it was a clean play. Joe Mahalik still talking to the officials. The entire team is in the locker room, and Coach Mahalik still talking to the officials about that shot that Upshaw took at the end. 38-34 is the score at halftime, and now standing by with assistant coach Shane Nichols for the Pride is Dan Savarino. Let's check in with them.
Coach, team storms back at the end of this first half. What's changed in the last couple of minutes?
We're playing better defensively. We got a little bit out of our rhythm. They're trying to, deny passes from us. But I think we got a little mojo going into the half. But we've been better defensively of, not blowing a little bit of assignments that they've been doing, cutting guys through. So we had to make some changes defensively.
You knew they had some of the best forwards in this conference coming in. How do you think you guys did rebounding so far in the first half?
I'm not sure. I didn't see the numbers. I thought we did a good job towards the end of the half, keeping them off the glass. I think early they got a couple of easy ones, which we had to address a little bit in the timeout. But for the most part, we did a good job at the end of the half.
Only second time you guys have trailed going into the half. What needs to be changed in the second to come out and win this game?
We just got to defend and rebound. That's the main thing with this team. Main thing with this team is defending and rebounding. All right.
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck.
Guys, thanks a lot, Dan. I'm glad they got through that. They have a little halftime show here at the Mack. Some Park and Rec League basketball. They're playing at halftime, and Dan and Coach are right in the middle of the court, and they just started playing. So you can hear. They pull off the interview well, though. Cody Norman. Hofstra is within 4 at the half. They finish it off on a 10-0 run, and it seemed like it really started when Joe Mahalik went right back to Musicone, put in one of his big guys late, forced a turnover, playing good defense against Baru, and Hofstra goes into the break only down 4.
I wasn't really too sure of midway through that half that Waukoni and Coney were both on the bench, and Darren Payan was getting most of the minutes on Baru down on the blocks, but then they started coming in a little bit. Kone started going in, and Waukoni went in, and that's really when things started to turn around, when they started to play defensively. You heard Coach say it. They started playing better defensively towards the end of that first half, and ultimately down by 4 points. Surprisingly, not sure how it got to this point, but they're down by 4 and in this game.
Zeke Upshaw is Hofstra's leading scorer at the half, 14 points, 3 for 4 from three-point land, and 2 of those shots came very late to get Hofstra within 4. To 10 run, the leading scorer for the Charleston Cougars is Nori Johnson. He has 14. Behind him for the Cougars is Ajay Baru. He has 9 points, 5 for 10 from the free throw line. Look at those numbers for a second, Cody. Hofstra, who we've been talking about all season long, has struggled from the free throw line. 17 for 19, shooting rounded up 90% from the charity stripe in the first half.
Well, that's what you have to do to win ball games. You have to win. You have to make your free throws, and that's what they're doing right now, especially with a game like this where there's so many fouls being called. I mean, each team has had a bunch of trips to the line. College of Charleston has had 21 shots. Hofstra 19 shots from the free throw line. So it's really a game of free throws at this point, and we can understand why head coach Joe Mahalik was upset at that last non-call, because Zeke Upshaw, went up for a layup, got hit on the body, and there was no call made. It was very understandable to see why he was upset about that.
Cougars a very fast, high-paced team, especially on offense. 38-34 the score at the half. Cody, before we send it back to the guys in the studio, what are going to be your keys to the second half for the Pride?
My keys to the second half is to stop Baru down on that block. You need to stop him from drawing those fouls, getting to the free throw line. That's their bread and butter. If they can get it down on the blocks to him and he can draw fouls, the Pride really don't have much of a shot. They need to stop that and force them to shoot outside.
All right, that'll do it for Cody, Dan, and I for the first half of action here at the Mack. We'll now send it back across Hempstead Turnpike to our WRHU studios for the halftime edition of the Locker Room. It's a 38-34 game. Guys, take it away. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Press Row for the start of the second half. Mark Prusen and Cody Norman with you. 38-34. The Pride trail the College of Charleston Cougars in these two schools' first ever meetings. But, Cody, a back-and-forth first half, not what you would expect. Hofstra ends the first 20 minutes on a 10-0 run.
Well, College of Charleston, early in that half, they went on a run of themselves, an 11-0 run. But then Hofstra really started to pick it up. Once Stephen Wankone and Musa Kone got comfortable down on the blocks, that's when things started to turn around. They went on that run to end the half, down by 4 points, 100% in this ball game right now against a very talented College of Charleston team.
Ajay Baru second on the Cougars with 9 points, and a big part of that he's done from the free throw line mainly because of the defense from Kone and Wakone, and even when Darren Payne came in when those two went to the bench.
Well, exactly. When Darren Payne was in the ball game, they were feeding it down to Ajay Baru, who was drawing fouls down on the blocks. That got him to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter that ultimately got them spread apart. And they can really start an offense. When you get an offense where you can dish out the ball down to your big men, down on the blocks, that opens up all sorts of doors for the guards and other big men. Baru did his job. Now Darren Payne, Musa Kone, Stephen Wankone are going to have to do their job defensively and stop him from getting those free throw opportunities.
Now offensively for Hofstra, Zeke Upshaw, the only player in double figures. We've seen him score over 30 points twice this season, but Hofstra's 0-2 in those games. So what are going to be the keys for Hofstra in the second half?
The key for Hofstra in the second half is definitely going to be to keep Baru off the free throw line, out of the free throw line, and for Zeke Upshaw to keep doing what he does the whole time that he can do. We've seen he can score 30-plus points. He's done it twice so far this season. If he can keep going like that, that'll be good for this Pride to get the offensive production going, give some confidence into the other offensive guys like a Jordan Allen, like a Darren Payne. They need to start getting it down on the blocks as well to Stephen Wankone and Musa Kone. Need more production out of your big men on offensively.
So Hofstra down by 4. As the two sides are back on the floor, Joe Mihalik still talking to the officials about the no call on the Zeke Upshaw layup attempt. Second to last possession of the half. Hofstra comes out in the same starting 5, and so do the Cougars. Up top, it's Nori Johnson, guarded by Zeke Upshaw. Goes off to the left wing for Anthony Stitt. Floats a pass to Baru, who slams it in with the right hand. Emphatic points to start the half for the Cougars. They go up 6. Between the circles, it's Jordan Allen running the point for Hofstra. Calls it a play. Now drives down the left side and lays it in for 2 at the low block. 6 points for Allen. And Hofstra back down by 4. The Cougars looking for their 10th win of the year and looking to start 2-0 in their first season in the CAA. Hofstra looking to avoid starting 0-2 in their 13th season of Colonial basketball. Far side, it's Anthony Stitt, now guarded by Stephen Wakone between the circles. Wakone with his back turned, still forces the turnover. Stitt bounced it off the back of his foot, and it went right to Robinson, who takes it all the way himself and is fouled on the shot attempt. So Jamal Robinson goes to the line off the off the Cougar turnover. And Hofstra will look to get within 2 a minute into the second half. Anthony Stitt's first turnover of the game ends up with Jamal Robinson at the line. He misses his first shot. Just the third missed free throw of the game for Hofstra.
Well, the young man, Jamal Robinson, showed some veteranship there on that last play. He didn't try to force anything. He took it slow as his second shot is good. 1 for 2 from the line. Took it slow. A couple crossover dribbles, got into the lane and drew the foul.
40-37, Hofstra within 3 as Robinson hits the second one, almost turned over by the Cougars in the backcourt. Anthony Stitt holds on to it. 18:50 to go in the game. Stitt still with it left side and now flips to Thomas right wing, guarded by Jamal Robinson. Thomas right wing side, goes straight away, top of the key for Johnson. Got away from Nesmith and passes off to Stitt, who drives baseline left side. Back up top for Johnson for 3. He knocks it down. And Nori Johnson with 17 points, his 5th made 3 of the game. Up top, it's Jordan Allen. Hofstra down 43-37. Drives down the left side around Willis Hall and is fouled on his shot attempt. So Hall be called for his 3rd foul. Put Allen at the line to shoot 2. Jordan, a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. The Cougars now with 3 players with 3 fouls. It's Thomas, Hall, and Theo Johnson. Puts Jordan Allen at the line to shoot for the Pride. Hofstra now shooting right to left here in the second half, and Allen gets set
Well, Allen's 4 for 4 so far from the charity stripe, and that's 4 for 5. Might have jinxed him there, but you mentioned 3 guys in foul trouble for the College of Charleston, but the most important, who is not in foul trouble, Nori Johnson. He has 0. He's 5 for 9 from downtown, like you mentioned. To say he's hot right now is an understatement, as Allen misses both.
He misses the second one badly, and the rebound gets tipped to Anthony Stitt. Charleston goes to the bench. Hull comes out, and Theo Johnson, with 3 fouls as well, re-enters. Top of the key, it's Stitt. Now goes right side for Nori Johnson. Johnson carves around the arc and now goes to Stitt, far side. Stitt to Baru at the low block. He's guarded by Wakone. Throws down one dribble, picks it up, and now goes out to the corner for Stitt, who drains the three-pointer. The 7th three-pointer of the game for the Cougars. They're shooting 50% from downtown, 46-37. They go ahead. Jamal Robinson, right wing for Hofstra. Bounce passes to Zeke Upshaw, guarded by Theo Johnson. Upshaw thinks about a 3, and now goes back down to the wing for Robinson, who drives inside the lane with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Shot's no good. Allen gets the rebound and the putback to go for 2. 8 points for Jordan Allen. Snaps a 6-0 Cougars run, 46-39. Hofstra down in the second half. Nori Johnson, right wing, to Anthony Stitt on the left. Stitt guarded by Zeke Upshaw. 20 on the shot clock. Stitt goes between the circles. Upshaw chases him. Stops, pops from the free throw line. No good. Off front iron. Rebound goes to Wakone. Wakone's 8th board of the game. Dion Nesbitt down the near side. Has it at the left wing. To the top of the key, right elbow. Now tries to pass it to Wakone. Goes up a foot of a Cougar and bounces off to Stitt. Stitt with 2 men in front of him. Passes to Nori Johnson. Can't control it. And Dion Nesbitt comes away with it for Hofstra. Quickly pushing right to left now. Jamal Robinson stops, pops. Right wing for 3. No. Rebound goes to Anthony Stitt as it clanks off side iron. Stitt will slow things down now with 16.5 to go in the game. And his team up 46-39. Stitt from straight away. Hands off to Theo Johnson. Johnson goes left wing now for Nori Johnson. He knocks down another 3. 6 of 9 from downtown for Nori Johnson. 20 points, and the Cougars go up by 10. 49-39. Jamal Robinson, right wing for Hofstra. Passes down to Dion Nesbitt. Nesbitt guarded by Anthony Stitt. Gets a screen from Allen. And now a bounce pass in the lane intended for Allen is grabbed by the Cougars. And controlling on the far side is Anthony Thomas. Back up to the corner for Stitt. And he'll hold on as he goes right wing for Nori Johnson. Johnson bounce passes to Theo Johnson between the circles. Guarded by Upshaw. Finds Anthony Stitt in the paint. Pretty move inside the lane. Couldn't get the shot up. In a sense, gave it to Jamal Robinson, who drives down the other way. Can't control it. And they call a foul in the lane. And we'll see who the foul is assessed to when we come back. 49-39, Hofstra down by 10, 15, 38 on the clock in the second. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Back at the Mack, Mark Prusin, Cody Norman, and Dan Savarino with you. Well, it's a day to get to know these College of Charleston Cougars. They have a 10-point lead over Hofstra in the first ever meeting between these two schools. The Cougars, the newest member of the CAA, and they're led by Ajay Baru, the highest ever recruit in the history of the Cougars Division I basketball program. For more on his story, let's go to Dan Savarino.
Guys, Baru happens to be one of the top rebounders out of the SoCon, one of the 4 captains for this Cougars team. He comes from the Ivory Coast, and he also happens to be the highest ranked player ever recruited to the College of Charleston, third big man in the entire conference, third big man in the class of 2011, and the 29th player overall in the class of 2011 as well. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Inbound pass goes to the back court, grabbed by Zeke Upshaw, and he brings it across the timeline and gives to Stephen Wakone, top of the key. Right wing now for Upshaw, bounce pass to Wakone in the paint, lays it in for 2 points. And Hofstra is back within 8, 49-41. Wakone with 7 points today. Far side wing. It's Anthony Thomas. Cross to the right side for Chile, guarded by Chris Jenkins. Chile between the circles, pass for Anthony Stitt, guarded by Jordan Allen. Right side for Chile, 15 on the shot clock, 15 minutes to go in the game. Far side, it's Thomas, still outside the arc. Thomas steps inside, picks up his dribble at the elbow. It's on the ground. He gets it back and goes up top for Chile. Chile, right elbow, passes outside for Stitt. 2 on the shot clock, a three-pointer, no good off back iron. Tipped out of bounds by Baru, and Hofstra will get the basketball. So Baru tips it out on the rebound attempt, trying to keep it away from Wakone, and Hofstra gets the basketball. Playing essentially 35 seconds of good defense. Inbound goes to Zeke Upshaw, brings it across half court on the far side.
That's probably Hofstra's best defensive possession of this game so far.
Up top, it's Stephen Wakone looking for an open man, looking for Upshaw, who's hounded by Theo Johnson. Goes near side wing for Jamal Robinson instead, guarded by Anthony Stitt. 15 on Hofstra's shot clock. Robinson drives down the right side of the lane and puts it in with the right hand at the low block. 9 points for Robinson, 49-43. Hofstra inches closer. Right side, it's Stitt between the circles to Thomas. Down to the corner for Joe Chile, and back to the right wing for Stitt. Now near side corner for Theo Johnson. Right side wing for Anthony Thomas. At the low block, he's guarded by Zeke Upshaw. Puts up a shot, goes over the rim, and it's rebounded on the other side by Chris Jenkins. Gives to Zeke Upshaw, brings it across half court. Top of the key for Upshaw is foul on his way into the lane. And they tag Baru for the foul. Hofstra will have the inbound on the baseline.
No, I can't seem to figure out these referees and their policy on fouls. It seems like sometimes they call that hand check, sometimes they don't. But we saw at the end of the half when Zeke Upshaw went up for that layup, he got hit hard on the body. And during the second half, they seem to be a little bit more lenient. But again, there's another one, kind of a soft foul.
Allen with it, top of the key, inside the arc. Gives to Zeke Upshaw, near side wing for 3, drains it. 4 for 5 from downtown. 17 points for Upshaw, 49-46. Hofstra within 3, 13 and a half minutes to go. Near side corner, it's Stitt. Thinks about shooting over Upshaw, instead floats a pass to Thomas, low block. Over Wakone, shot's no good. And the rebound is grabbed by Chris Jenkins. Gives off to Zeke Upshaw, takes it across half court, races. Has it on the left wing. He's guarded by Johnson. Upshaw, right elbow, passes off to Jordan Allen, drives baseline, is fouled, and one. Gets the shot, Jordan Allen with 10 points, extends the Hofstra run, and he'll be at the line for one more.
Great decision by Jordan Allen. He had a wide open look from about 15 feet, but he decided to take it into the hole, a couple pump fakes, went up with it, drew the foul, and finished. He could have easily taken that jump shot, but he was feeling aggressive, went to the basket, finished it. Now he has a chance for a three-point play and to tie this ball game.
Looking to make it a 10-0 run again for the Pride as Allen's free throw is no good, and the rebound gets tipped around and goes out to Anthony Stitt just outside the arc. The Cougars going left to right. Stitt flips off to Johnson near side, goes up top for Willis Hall. Hall carries it to the left wing and hands off to Stitt. Stitt drives in between Allen and Upshaw far side, gets to the low block untouched and lays it in for 2. Snaps an 0 for 4 run from the field for the Cougars. They go back up by 3, 51-48. And Allen with a long shot. He gets it to go, 51-50. Hofstra trims it to 1. Allen now with 12 points. Up top, it's Willis Hall for the Cougars, guarded by Allen. Bounces off to the right and hands to Stitt. Stitt brings it in between the circles. Flip pass to Hall, right wing, guarded by Jordan Allen. Goes back up top for Stitt. 15 on the shot clock. Stitt Goes right side back to Hall, guarded by Allen, and there's a whistle away from the ball. It's like they'll get Stephen Wakone. Some contact with Ajay Baru away from the ball, and the Cougars will have the inbound. On the baseline, as Stephen Wakone comes out, Musa Kone comes in. That's Wakone's third foul, so he'll have to come out. Kone re-enters. Inbound is grabbed in the paint by Nori Johnson. He'll put it up over 2 defenders at the low block and knock it down. 22 points for Johnson, and the Cougars go up by 3. Under 12 to go in the game. Left wing, it's Jordan Allen. Goes up top for Chris Jenkins. Right wing 3 for Upshaw. No good. Off back iron. Rebound pulled down by Jamal Robinson. Low block, he'll drive inside himself and draw the foul. Robinson to the line to shoot. When we come back, 53-50. Hofstra trails the Cougars, 11:46 to go in this game. You're listening to Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Hofstra has free throws, down by 3. Let's check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Dan Savarino, behind the Hofstra bench.
Mark, Cody, Coach Joe Mahalik inside the huddle was talking about you need to keep going here. This is the closest they've been in this game since they led early on in the first half of action when they led by 6. They have not led since then, but you need to keep going, keep driving towards the basket, have the same fight and intensity as you have been the last couple of minutes. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dan. And we want to remind our listeners tuning in on WRHU, if you're looking for That's How I Spell Ireland, that will begin promptly at the conclusion of the Hofstra C of C game you're listening to. Jamal Robinson's first free throw is no good.
And Mark, we talked about it at the half, how well they had been shooting from the line. Thus far, they haven't hit a free throw in this second half. They were 18 of 19, now they're 18 of 25.
As Robinson knocks down the second shot, that puts him into double digits today. He's got 10 points, he and Upshaw, along with Jordan Allen, the 3 members of the Pride, with 10 or more points. Hofstra down by 2. Near side, it's Nori Johnson, passes between the circles for Willis Hall, and he quickly gets out of trouble and gets up to his point guard, Stitt. Stitt from straight away. Shades off towards the right, 15 on the shot clock. Passes to Willis Hall, top of the key. Hall in front of Zeke Upshaw. He holds on, now goes off to the left and gives back to Stitt. Stitt from the left wing. Dribbles, he'll put up a 3-pointer from the wing and knock it down. That's a long 2 as he stepped inside the arc. 55-51. The Cougars still in the lead. Coming up on 11 minutes to go. Left wing, it's Jamal Robinson to the top of the key. Robinson dribbles with the right hand and shades off to the right side, guarded by Nori Johnson. Robinson to the top of the key. Left elbow, now down to the low block. Behind Johnson, lays it in for 2 points. He's got 12 points. 55-53, Pride back within a score. Anthony Stitt brings it across half court. This is a Cougar team averaging around 60 points per game. They have 55 points with 10.5 to go in this game. Top of the key, it's Stitt. Right side, it's Johnson. Pass to Baru, low block. Guarded by Musakone. Baru spins around, and he traveled in the lane. Baru couldn't get around Kone, and that's a turnover. Hofstra will get the basketball with 10.5 to go.
Too many steps for Baru, and that's on Musakone. That's all made by Musakone's aggressiveness on him down low, not giving him an opportunity to back him down on the blocks.
Chris Jenkins controls between the circles for Hofstra, guarded by Willis Hall. Jenkins will take it to the left block himself, and he's fouled by Hall as he puts up a shot. Hall not happy with himself on the foul. That is his 4th foul. So he, Theo Johnson, and Anthony Thomas all have 4 fouls in this game for the Cougars. 55-53. Jenkins will have a chance to tie this game up.
An interesting mark on that last shot by Chris Jenkins. He drove on the left side, but he shot with his right hand. You can't assume that he did that instinctively, but that certainly helped to call the foul, but he misses his first free throw. As Hall put his arm straight up, but because Jenkins went up with his right arm, that gave the opportunity for that right arm to hit the body of Hall, which ultimately drew the foul.
Hofstra is 2 for 8 from the free throw line in this half. 19 for 27 in the game. Jenkins' second is no good. He missed side iron. Rebound gets flipped to Ajay Baru. Stitt brings it across on the far side, and he has it from straight away. Shades off towards the right and flips to Johnson. Nairi Johnson, the game's leading scorer with 22. Hands off to the wing for Stitt. Stitt gets a screen from Hall, brings it to the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. Stitt, right elbow, spins around, middle of the lane, loses the basketball, but it goes to Baru on the wing, and he gets it back to Stitt up top. 9 on the shot clock. Now down to 6. Stitt with it, still top of the key, guarded by Nesmith. Stitt, straightaway 3, yes! 14 points for the guard, Stitt. And the Cougars are up by 5, 58-53. 9.5 to go in the game. Far side wing, it's Nesmith. Brings it into the lane from up top. The ball is blocked in the air and goes out of bounds. Hofstra will get the basketball as the shot attempt was tipped out of bounds. And Hofstra will maintain possession. Nesmith will inbound under the basket.
That last three-pointer by Stitt for the College of Charleston is not something you would call a dagger, of course, because it's only a 5-point game, but it's one of those shots that emotionally just get you when you're down by 2 and then you play good defense and then he hits a three-pointer right in your face.
Nesmith, left wing 3. He drains it. So back-to-back threes. 58-56. Hofstra within 2. Timeout called by Joe Mihalik, so Hofstra will head to the huddle. But they're back within 2, Cody. 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this game, and we've seen plenty of scoring. How about the effort of the Cougars from downtown? 9 for 17 in the game. Good. And 4 for 5 in this half. They're shooting 80% from downtown in the first 10.5 minutes or so of this second half. And they have a 58-56 lead over the Pride.
Well, we mentioned earlier the key to the second half was going to be to stop Baru from getting so many open looks down low and getting those trips to the free throw line, try to make them work more outside. Well, they took that to heart, and now they're 4 for 5 in the second half from downtown, shooting an 80% clip and 53% clip for the game. But really, the three-pointers are what's carrying this team for Charleston, and Hofstra and especially Zeke Upshaw are trying to answer right back. Zeke is 4 for 6 from downtown, and he's really doing the load. But also, for Hofstra, you have 3 guys in double digits. Also for Charleston, 3 guys in double digits. Upshaw, Allen, and Robinson both in double digits. I really love the way that Jamal Robinson is playing. For a young freshman in a conference game, can't really ask much more for what he's been doing.
Nori Johnson, the game's leading scorer. 22 points is a season high for him. His career high is 27. He put that up last season in a game at Kent State. This is just the 10th game he's played this season out of 17 for the Cougars. Last year, he appeared in every game for the College of Charleston, so making the most of his playing time this season. Game high 22 points for the senior Nori Johnson. And the Cougars up by 6 on the Pride. Meanwhile, on Hofstra's end, they've spread the offense pretty well, especially in this second half. Zeke Upshaw with 14 in the first now has 17 points. Jordan Allen has 12 points, and Jamal Robinson has gotten into double digits now with 8. Dion Nesmith with 6 points as well for the Pride. So scoring hasn't been the issue on Hofstra. It's just been controlling this Charleston offense. And
especially is controlling the Charleston bench. The Charleston bench has 28 points. Hofstra's bench only has 5. They're being outscored 28-5. And that's been the story all season thus far, and that's just the cards that have been dealt to Coach Mihalik. But it's definitely a problem that needs to be fixed.
Anthony Thomas to Anthony Stitt off the inbound, and Stitt crosses midcourt. He's guarded by Jordan Allen. And now shades off to the right wing. Hofstra. Right side, it's Thomas now to the corner for Johnson. Pass inside for Baru over Kone. Can't get it to go. Rebound fought for by Kone. And it dribbles out to Dion Nesmith. Nesmith in front of Stitt. Low block, puts it up. And Baru got the hand in there. Let's see the call. They'll call goaltending on Baru. And that's 2 points for Hofstra and Nesmith. The game is tied at 58.
How about that turn of events? A great job by Musa Kone fighting for that rebound on the defensive possession. And an even better job to get it out quickly to Dion Nesmith, who took it coast to coast and drew the goaltending.
So Hofstra, who started the game up 6-0 before giving up 8 straight points to the Cougars, draw even. 58-58, 8:40 to go in the game. Second goaltending called against Baru. That was the first on defense. Low block, it's Thomas for the Cougars. Up in front of Kone. He draws the foul, can't get the shot to go. For Kone, it'll be his 3rd foul. And the Cougars will have free throws. 2 shots coming up for Thomas, with a chance to put Charleston back in front. Now the Cougars in this game have led by as many as 14 before Hofstra went on a 10-0 run to close out the second half. Thomas's first free throw is no good. Cougars as a team 11 for 22 in the game. Anthony Thomas with just 2 points, 1 for 4 from the field. This is his first time at the line. Looking to put the Cougars back in front and looking for win number 2 in the Colonial. Thomas says second free throw is good. 59-58, Cougars go in front. Dion Nesmith on the floor with Jordan Allen, Jamal Robinson, Zeke Upshaw, and Stephen Wakone. Guarded by Stitt up top. Passes to the left wing for Allen, guarded by Anthony Thomas. Allen hands to Upshaw at the left wing, gets a screen from Wakone. Top of the key 3 for Upshaw, no good. And Wakone gets the rebound and is fouled in the putback, so he'll go to the line. Good job by Steven to get down there and draw the foul. And it's 2 shots coming up for Wakone.
That was kind of one of those lucky bounces for Stephen Wakone. He was battling out down on the blocks, and it's actually a shot from Zeke Upshaw that hit the glass, didn't even hit rim, and bounced right to Stephen Wakone, who fought forward and went right up with it as his first free throw attempt, misses back iron. But Mark, head coach Joe Mihalik, since this second half, the end of the first half, he has not stopped chirping at the referees trying to get those calls.
The last foul was called against Ajay Baru. That is his 3rd. So the Cougars now with 3 players with 4 fouls and Baru with 3, and Hofstra with 3 players with 3 fouls each. Wakone looking to tie it up after missing the front end. His second free throw is good. So Hofstra 3 for 11 from the charity stripe in this half. And that ties the game at 59. 8:10 to go in the game. Stitt crosses half court, guarded by Jordan Allen. Dribbles between the circles with Zeke Upshaw in front of him. Stitt passes off to the right side for Nori Johnson. Nori Johnson brings it up top, guarded by Nesmith, and gives up top to Ajay Baru, who is hounded by Wakone. Baru can't get around Wakone, and hands to Stitt on the right wing. To Willis Hall, left wing, thinks about a 3, instead drives inside, spins around, and gets into the paint. He got around Allen and laid it in for 2. Willis Hall with 5 points in the game, quickly the other way. Zeke Upshaw stripped to the basketball on the low block, and it goes out of bounds off of Upshaw. So it'll be Charleston ball when we come back. Cougars lead by 2, 61-59 over the Pride. 7:40 to go in the game. This is Hofstra men's basketball on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mack. Mark Prusen and Cody Norman with you. Hofstra trails the Cougars by 2, 61-59. Just over 7.5 to go in the game. Now in the first half, Hofstra shot pretty well from the free throw line. Well, in this half, the Pride are just 3 for 11, and that's a trend we've seen all season long. For more on that, let's go to Dan Savarino.
Well, Mark, one of the biggest weaknesses for this Hofstra Pride team all season long has been from the charity stripe. Their numbers have not been good shooting. Just 64%, that's 306 in all of D1 basketball. But with Jordan Allen's numbers, they are a little fluctuated. It ends up going to 136 and shooting at 70%. Now, Coach Joe Mahalik, when you asked him about him, what are you going to do with the free throw numbers? He goes, it's a difference between a have to and a want to. You have to want to go to the foul line, not just you have to go there. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dan. And Joe Chile brings it across half court on the near side off the inbound for the Cougars. Hay has it right wing. Doesn't use the screen from Hall at the top of the key. Instead stays at the wing. He's guarded by Allen. Chile finds Baru open midway through the lane on the left side. And Baru in the paint spins around and is fouled on his shot. The shot's no good. Baru not happy that he couldn't make it. But a foul is called. I believe they'll get Wakone for it. If it is Wakone, it'll be his fourth. They'll get Robinson for the foul. That's Robinson's second foul. And Baru will be at the line to shoot 2. Baru with 11 points in the game. He's been to the line 5 times. He's 5 for 10. His first shot of 2 is good. So 6 for 11 from the line, and Baru now with 12 points in the game.
Familiar sight here for Baru again at the line. Exactly what they want to do. Feed the ball into him down on the block and have him do a couple spin moves, pump fakes, and he drew the foul again on Robinson.
This is how the Cougars went ahead. Baru misses the second. Rebound is flipped out to Zeke Upshaw. I think it was a Cougar who tipped it, but it went to Upshaw at the free throw line. Gives to Jordan Allen, who holds on top of the key. Coming up on 7 minutes to go in the game. Allen in front of Johnson. Takes it out to the low block. Misses the shot, but Wakone is there for the putback and knocks it in. 7 points for Steven. 62-61. Charleston still with the lead. Stitt with the top of the key. Gives off to Thomas. Now right side for Nori Johnson, who brings it between the circles. Johnson guarded by Allen. Goes right wing for Theo Johnson. Guarded by Dion Nesbitt. Johnson, top of the key, goes right side for Thomas, who hands to Stitt behind him. Stitt at the right wing. In front of Zeke Upshaw. 10 on the shot clock for Charleston. Right wing, it's Stitt. Stitt still dribbles. Takes it between the circles. Straightaway three-pointer, no. Rattle around the rim and out. Wakone gets the rebound and keeps it from going out of bounds. Passes behind him to Nesmith. Dion Nesmith with it left wing. Passes to Robinson. Now goes between the circles for Allen. Right side, given to Dion Nesmith. A screen from Wakone. Nesmith, top of the key 3 is no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Theo Johnson for the Cougars. Far side, it's Stitt, bringing it across half court. He has it on the wing. Stitt picks up his dribble, looking for Baru. He has him down to the baseline. Baru in front of Wakone. It's tipped in the air. It was a shot. They'll call a foul against Wakone. No, they'll call a foul against Jordan Allen. Allen's 4th foul. So he's a foul away from fouling out. That's his first foul of the half. He went into the break with 3 fouls. And Baru is back at the line to shoot. Baru, a 50% shooter from the line in this game, 6 for 12. And now less than that, 6 for 13 as he misses the first.
Jordan Allen is very unhappy with that call. It seemed like he went for the swat, and he's saying he got all of the ball in none of Baru's body, but referees obviously thought differently.
Baru's second shot is good. 13 points for the preseason CAA second teamer. And Charleston goes up by 2, 63-61. Under 6 minutes to go in the game. Hofstra looking for win number 1 in the Colonial. And for its 4th win of 5 in this building. Right block, it's Jordan Allen. Can't get the shot to go. Wakone's rebound is tipped down to the floor, and it's grabbed by Anthony Stitt. Brings it across the near side. It's Theo Johnson in the corner. Drives inside the paint. Outside pass goes to Johnson, but before that, he traveled in the lane. That's a turnover for the Cougars, number 10 on the night. And Hofstra will get the basketball. Pride within 2. 5:33 on the clock in the second. This is a Hofstra team that was picked 9th in the CAA preseason poll. The Cougars, their first year in the Colonial, picked 3rd as the Southern Conference runners-up from last season. Right wing, it's Nesmith, goes inside to Upshaw. Upshaw flips low block for Wakone over Baru. doesn't hit the rim. Wakone gets his own rebound on the other side, flips up top for Nesmith. Does it to the corner for Upshaw, drives baseline. He's blocked, but there's a foul called. And Upshaw will go to the line.
It's a very familiar play to the play that ended the first half, and he got the call this time. Did Zeke Upshaw. He's coming up a little bit gimpy, as he's definitely had his work cut out for him in this evening's ball game.
And it's Baru's fourth foul.
That's huge.
Baru, Anthony Thomas, and Theo Johnson, all with 4 fouls and all currently on the floor. And we'll see what changes are made as Upshaw hits the first free throw. 63-62. Theo Johnson will sit, and Willis Hall will re-enter for the Cougars.
Willis Hall also has 4 fouls, so there's 3 guys on the court right now for the College of Charleston.
Second shot for Upshaw is good. He has 19 points in the ball game and evens things up at 63. Cougar basketball. Near side wing, it's Johnson. Goes up top for Anthony Stitt. And Stitt back steps. 5 minutes exactly to go in the game. Stitt shades off to the left wing. Goes up top, flips right side for Thomas. Thomas just inside the arc and now steps back. And there's a whistle away from the ball. It's going to be a foul against Hofstra. And Jordan Allen gets called for the foul. He's done. Allen fouls out for the second straight game. Joe Mahalik stunned at what the call was. That's Allen's 5th foul, so he is out of the game. Final stat line on Jordan, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and the 5 fouls. It's a 63-63 game as a timeout is called. But that's huge for Hofstra because Allen has been one of Hofstra's more consistent players over the last few games. Career high 18 against Delaware, missed the last few minutes because he fouled out, and he'll do the same today. He made it through to the 6-minute mark with 3 fouls before picking up the 4th, but picks up 2 in less than 2 minutes and fouls out of this game. 4:52 remaining. On the floor for Hofstra, it's Upshaw, Nesmith. Chris Jenkins will come in for Allen, along with Wakone and Jamal Robinson. Anthony Stitt will inbound from the baseline. Goes to the corner for Thomas. Thomas guarded by Nesmith, flips to Stitt at the right wing. Stitt brings it in between the circles in front of Jamal Robinson. 4:45 to go in the game, tied at 63. Anthony Stitt shades off in front of the Cougar bench on the left wing, in front of Jamal Robinson. Drives inside, untouched, low block, and we'll see what they call. They call the offensive foul. It was drawn by Nesmith. The Cougar bench doesn't like the call, but that's a turnover. Hofstra gets the basketball. It's the Pride draw the offensive foul.
Or something else to point out with the importance of Jordan Allen fouling out of this ball game. The Pride there lacked in depth initially coming out. Now instead of playing with 8 guys, they're really only playing with 7 guys now, 5 on the floor and 2 on the bench.
Left wing, it's Nesmith, bounce passes, top of the key for Wakone. Wakone looking to pass it off, and he hands to Jamal Robinson behind him. And on the transfer, there's a foul. So as Wakone passed it to Jamal Robinson, he's fouled by Nori Johnson. That's just Johnson's second, so he's not in danger of fouling out. But the Cougars have 4 guys with 4 fouls. But what it does is it'll put Wakone on the line to shoot as the Cougars put Hofstra in the bonus. That's their 10th foul of the half. So he fouled Wakone as he was giving the ball to Robinson behind him. Wakone was looking to pass it the entire time he had the basketball. His first free throw is no good, though. Wakone 1 for 3 from the line. He has 7 points. Looking to give Hofstra its first lead since 4 minutes into this ball game. Hofstra led 6-0. It was trimmed down to 6-5 before Hofstra gave it up to the Cougars. They went on an 8-0 run. Wakone's second free throw for the lead. No good off front iron. Rebound grabbed by Thomas. He hands off to Stitt, who will bring it across dead center for the Cougars. 4:15 to go in the game, and we're tied at 63. Jordan Allen is fouled out for Hofstra. Stitt right wing. Flips up top for Thomas, who takes it to the left. Thomas picks up his dribble, guarded by Robinson. Looking for a man to pass it to, and there's another whistle away from the ball. And we'll see what they call.
Hold on, Stephen Wakone off the ball on Baru.
Stephen Wakone's 4th foul comes away from the basketball. And the Cougars will get set for the inbound. It'll be Anthony Stitt with Baru, Thomas, Willis Hall, and Nari Johnson on the floor. Anthony Stitt will inbound for the Cougars, who look to go back in front. The game's tied at 63. We approach the 4-minute mark. Nori Johnson wide open up top. Quickly gives back to Stitt, who's yet to dribble. 4 minutes to go in the game and counting. Stitt between the circles, hands off to Nori Johnson. Flips a pass to Thomas, right wing. Thomas takes it between the circles, stopped by Wakone. Thomas picks up his dribble, now goes right wing for Nori Johnson. Johnson right elbow in the middle of the lane, flips to Willis Hall for two, good. 10 feet out on the baseline, and the Cougars go back in front 65-63 as a timeout is called.
It was good ball movement by the Cougars on that offensive possession. Nothing really Hofstra could do. A lot of pick and rolls, a really textbook play, and Doug Wojcik is pulling out all the tricks he can offensively to keep this lead. In Hofstra, they've tied this ball game a bunch of times in this second half. They just can't get that lead. It's those free throws. They're shooting 22 of 34 for the game so far in the free throws. And this half, they're 5 for 15 at a 33% clip. That's not going to win you ball games when you're shooting 33% from the charity stripe, especially in the second half.
Rebounding numbers in this game in favor of Hofstra, 33-27. The game featuring some of the top rebounders, some of the top big men in the conference. Stephen Wakone for Hofstra is fourth in the league in rebounding. Jai Baru and Willis Hall are also in the top 5 in this conference in rebounding. Dion Nesbitt takes the inbound from Upshaw, along with Jenkins, Musa Kone, and Jamal Robinson on the floor. It's Nesbitt, top of the key, picks up his dribble, goes left wing for Upshaw, takes it back between the circles. He's guarded by Anthony Thomas. Upshaw spins around, right elbow, loses the basketball at the low block, and it goes out of bounds. There's no foul called. Cougar basketball when we come back. 65-63. College of Charleston with the lead. 3:25 to go in this ball game. And you're listening to Hofstra Men's Basketball here on the Hofstra Pride Sports Network. Final stretch here at the Mack. It's a 2-point ball game. Cougars on top, 65-63 over Hofstra. One last time, let's check in with Dan Savarino in the Hofstra huddle.
Mark, it wasn't just a message from the head coach, it was the message from the entire team. Jordan Allen fouled out of this game, but you know what? He kept yelling at his players. One possession, acting like the leader he is on the court. Guys, back to you.
On the floor for the Cougars, they'll have the basketball. It'll be Chile, Stitt, Johnson, Baru, and Willis Hall. Chile inbounds to Johnson, who gives it back to Chile, who's guarded by Upshaw in the backcourt. He takes it across on the near side with 3:15 to go in the game. Cougars up by 2. Chile right wing. Passes off to Stitt, who brings it up top. To Willis Hall, left wing for 3, no. Robinson gets the rebound for Hofstra, and Nesbitt will bring it the other way. 3 minutes to go in the game. Hofstra down by 2. Dion Nesbitt, left wing. Calls out a play for Zeke Upshaw. Nesbitt brings it top of the key. He's guarded by Anthony Stitt. Nesbitt hands off to Upshaw, who goes back to Nesbitt at the wing. Nesbitt, 15 seconds on the shot clock, brings it up top. Right elbow, loses the basketball, and it goes to Jai Baru. Baru gets it to a guard. It's Chile, and he'll bring it across half court. Nesmith turns it over for Hofstra. Cougars looking to go up 4. Stitt with it right wing. Now goes to Cheely between the circles. Back to Johnson, top of the key. Guarded by Dion Nesmith. 2.5 to go in the game. To Stitt left wing. He's guarded by Jamal Robinson. Stitt inside the arc, back steps, has it between the circles. Stitt picks up his dribble, looks for an open man, and he finds Johnson right wing. Quickly a pass for Hall in the paint is tipped around, and it's grabbed by Dion Nesmith, who's on the floor. They'll call a foul against Nesmith. No, excuse me. The foul's going to go against... It will go against Nairi Johnson of the Cougars. So Hofstra will have free throws. It'll be Dion Nesmith at the line to shoot. Looking to tie this game up. For Nori Johnson, it's his 3rd foul of the game. Joins a handful of Charleston players with 3 fouls. Hofstra's already had a player foul out. It's Jordan Allen. Nesmith at the line, makes the first. 9 points for Nesmith. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line today. Looking to tie this game up for Hofstra. And he does. Nesmith, 2 for 2. And Joe Mahalik will call a timeout. The game is tied at 65, Cody. Hofstra looking to go ahead for the first time since the early minutes of this ball game.
It's a tie ball game again, and we mentioned it's happened a bunch of times so far in this second half. They have tied the ball game. It's been a close game this whole half, but still haven't been able to get over that hump to get that lead back again like they had in that when they were up 6-0 early in the ball game. That's the luxury of being in this bonus that they're in. They've been in the bonus since 4 minutes left in this game. They get 2 shots with each foul that College of Charleston applies on them. Right there you saw Dion Nesmith. He capitalized. He hit both free throws. Tie ball game 65-65 with just about 2 minutes left in this game. You can't ask for much more. This has been an outstanding performance in the second half by Hofstra, which they have struggled lately in pretty much all season. The second half woes. So far, it was the first half woe. The second half is really where they're turning it on.
Hofstra has lost halftime leads in almost every game this season. They did not lead at the half. Today, they were down only by a score, and now Hofstra looking to come back for the first time this season, earn their 4th win here at the Mack, and their 5th overall. Right side, it's Joe Cheely. 2 minutes to go in the game. Cougars looking to go ahead. Joe Cheely with the top of the key, guarded by Dion Nesmith. 15 on the shot clock. Cheely gets tripped up with Nesmith, but nothing called. Cheely drives to the left wing around a Hall screen. Cheely slips in the paint. There's no call. 7 seconds on the shot clock. It goes to Stitt, top of the key. He'll shoot over Upshaw. 3-pointer's no good, and Waconey skies in for the board. That's the highest I think I've ever seen Stephen Waconey jump, trying to pull down that rebound. 13 boards in the game for Waconey, and now there's a whistle called as Nesmith dribbles top of the key. Joe Mahalik talking to the officials. Nesmith might have been bleeding. Looked like he might have a nosebleed as he gets some assistance from the trainer. So that's why the whistle was called. And I guess Joe Mahalik will take a timeout. Doug Wojcik talking to the officials, trying to get an explanation of what's going on. Hofstra's in the huddle. The Cougars are out on the court. Joe Cheely will sub out. On the floor for the Cougars, it's Anthony Thomas, Anthony Stitt, Ajay Baru, Willis Hall, and Nori Johnson, the team's leading scorer. Johnson with 22 points in the game. Hofstra with the basketball. It's Robinson to inbound. He finds Nesmith near the half-court line. Nesmith takes it between the circles. Dribbles with the right hand. 1:20 to go in the game. Drives down the left side at the wing. Stopped by Stitt at the elbow. A nice pass to Waconey. Can't get the shot to go, but he does draw the foul. So Waconey will be at the line. Foul is called against Nori Johnson. And if you're Doug Wojcik, that's the guy you want to foul. That'll be his 4th, so it avoids someone fouling out of the game for the Cougars. Stephen Waconey will be at the line. He's 1 for 4 from the charity stripe today. Hofstra has missed 10 free throws this half.
This is where you have to make them.
Waconey hits it, and Hofstra goes ahead, 66-65 for the first time since the 16-minute mark in the first. Hofstra has the lead. The Pride went up 6-0 and then fell behind 8-6 and have not led until now. Up by 1. Waconey with another free throw attempt. He's got 8 points in this game, And a game-high 13 rebounds. His second free throw is no good off side iron. Kone gets the rebound, and he's fouled on the floor by Ajay Baru. That's Baru's fifth. He's out of the game. That's 5 for Baru. He'll take a seat. That is Charleston's most important big man, and he's out for the final minute and 17 seconds. Timeout called.
You can't highlight the magnitude of that play right there by Musa Kone to get that foul and to get that rebound. And Ajay Baru fouled out of this game. He's one of the top 3 rebounders in the conference. And now he's out of this ball game. When he's out of the game, that's when Hofstra has thrived in this ball game. When he's out of the game and when he is not producing, when he's shut down, that's when Hofstra seems most comfortable. Now he's out of the game for the last minute and 17, or if this goes into overtime, he will not step foot back on this court. That is huge for Hofstra.
And Kone will shoot for the Pride. It's the 10th foul for the Cougars. Excuse me, that's the 14th foul of the half for the Cougars. Kone will shoot. His first is good. 67-65. Pride with the lead. Kone will have another shot. And Hofstra has had a lead as large as 6, but that was in the early minutes of this ball game. They have not led since. Kone's second free throw is no good. Hofstra up by a score, and there's a foul called on the rebound attempt. It's going to go against the Cougars, I believe. It's Willis Hall. That's 5 fouls for Willis Hall, and he has fouled out.
So 2 of the top rebounders in the conference, Willis Hall and Ajay Baru, are both fouled out of this ball game. They are in the top 5 in rebounding the conference, especially Willis Hall. He's averaging around 10 rebounds per game.
Willis Hall 3rd in the CAA in rebounds. Ajay Baru is 5th in the conference, and Stephen Wakone is 4th. And right now, he's the best rebounder on the floor in this game. 67-65, Hofstra with the lead over the Cougars, and it'll be Wakone who will shoot for Hofstra. Doug Wojcik forced to go to his bench. He's got Nori Johnson on the floor, Anthony Stitt, Joe Cheely, Anthony Thomas, and subbing in for Willis Hall will be David Wishon, the redshirt sophomore who came over to Charleston along with Doug Wojcik out of Tulsa. First shot from Wakone is good, and Hofstra goes up 3. 68-65. Pride lead the Cougars. A minute 16 remaining in the game after Wakone's second free throw. Wakone, Nesmith, Robinson, Upshaw, and Kone on the floor. His second shot, nothing but net. The Hofstra fans are on their feet. Some energy on the Hofstra bench. The Pride lead by 4. A minute 10 remaining. Right side, it's Joe Cheely. Brings it back up top. Around Wishon to the left wing. Cheely drives inside. Low block is stopped by Upshaw. Finds Thomas open. Right wing for 3. Nothing. Hits front iron. Gets the rebound. Now right corner for Stitt. The three-pointer is good. Anthony Stitt from the right corner drains a 3 and gets the Cougars within 1 with 58 seconds remaining as the sides go to the bench. Timeout Charleston.
Cold-blooded shot by Anthony Stitt. A fadeaway 3 from the right corner to give this team some life again after it seemed like all of the momentum was on the Pride side. And he quiets down this Mack Sports Complex crowd pretty quickly, but still Pride have the lead. Important right now on this offensive possession, do not force a shot. Take as much time as you need off that shot clock. Make sure it's an open shot, a good look. Zeke Upshaw, obviously he has the hot hand right now. He's the Pride's leading scorer with 19 points. Probably will draw a play to get to him, but again, do not force a shot. Get a good shot. You have plenty of time. The Pride are in control of this ball game. They're leading by 1. Get the shot that they want to get.
The Cougars shooting 50% this half, 45% in this game from downtown. They've made 10 3-pointers. Dion Nesmith will bring it across the far side for Hofstra, holding a 1-point lead with 50 seconds remaining. Left wing, it's Nesmith, guarded by Stitt. Now takes it over to the right wing and gives to Jamal Robinson, who backsteps, brings it between the circles. Goes off to the left wing. 15 on Hofstra's shot clock, 35 seconds remaining in the game. Straight away, it's Zeke Upshaw. In front of Nori Johnson, gets a screen from Wakone. Upshaw drives, low block, lays it in for 2. And the Mack erupts. 21 points for Upshaw. Hofstra by 3.
That's a veteran doing a veteran's job right there by Zeke Upshaw, taking the matters into his own hands. He saw the shot clock was running down. He had a mismatch opportunity, drove it to the left lane, a couple pump fakes and an up and under, got it for 2, got it to go. That's where you want your seniors to take control of a ball game. That's what Zeke Upshaw is doing right now. Huge bucket to go up 3.
71-68. Hofstra with the lead. 28 seconds remaining. The shot clock will be turned off the rest of the way. Zeke Upshaw with 21 points. He leads Hofstra and now trails Nori Johnson by 1 for the game high. Johnson has 22 points. In the second half, Johnson held to just 8. 8 of Johnson's 22 points have come in the second half. Cougars will have the basketball. It'll be Theo Johnson who re-enters to inbound. He goes to Joe Cheely, takes it across the near side. 25 seconds to go. It's a 3-point game. Cheely to the low block, puts it up, no good. Wakone gets the rebound, and there's a late foul call. It's going to go against the Cougars. Hofstra's going to have free throws.
And how about Stephen Wakone? That's his 14th rebound of this ball game. There was so much talk about Ajay Baru and Willis Hall coming into this ball game as the top rebounders, one of the top rebounders in the conference, but Stephen Wakone pounding his chest in this ball game.
The foul goes against Theo Johnson. That is his 5th foul. He has fouled out. 5 Cougars have fouled out of this game. Jordan Allen, the only player on Hofstra to foul out. Stephen Wakone has 4 fouls, and he's at the line to shoot free throws. Wakone 4 for 8 in the game. 71-68. Hofstra leads by 3. Wakone looking to make it a 2-possession game with 22 seconds remaining. His first free throw is up and good. Nothing but net. 72-68. It's the Pride by 4 over the Cougars. This is a Charleston team that was picked 3rd in the CAA this season. They finished as the SoCon runners-up, advanced to a postseason tournament, the CBI, where they were eliminated in the first round. This is their first trip to Hempstead, and Wakone hits 2 of 2. 73-68. It's the Pride by 5 with 20 seconds to go. Right side, it's Cheely. Hands off to Stitt. Stitt, top of the key. Passes off to the wing for Nori Johnson. Over Jamal Robinson, drains it. Nori Johnson with 25 points. Makes it a 2-point game with 14 and a half seconds remaining. 73-71. Hofstra with the lead as a timeout is called by the Cougars.
Charleston will not go to sleep. Just when you think Hofstra puts the dagger in them, they have someone who hits a deep 3 to get them right back into the game. Now it's a 1-possession game with 14 seconds left.
Cougars will look for the quick steal, but with 14 seconds remaining, Hofstra's not going to force a shot, up by 2.
You have to wonder when and if the Cougars will foul.
It's a 1-possession game, 14 seconds remaining. They'll look for the quick steal.
And if they can't get it, they'll have to do something.
The Cougars with 2 players with 4 fouls. It's Anthony Thomas and Nori Johnson, each with 4 fouls. Anthony Stitt, the point guard, has 3. And the Cougars are down by 2. And Hofstra has the basketball. 14 and a half seconds remaining. And in the Hofstra huddle, let's check in with Dan Savarino, who's in the Hofstra bench for this timeout.
Guys, Coach Mahalik just said, remember, jump ball wins the game. You have to get the ball. Make sure you hold on to it. Use these 14.5 seconds. Get this W right now. Back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. And Hofstra still has to play smart. It's a 1-possession game, 14 and a half seconds remaining. Robinson, Kone, Wakone, Upshaw, and Nesmith on the floor. Robinson can run the baseline, and he inbounds to Zeke. Upshaw immediately fouled by Nori Johnson. And that'll be Johnson's 5th foul. He'll have to come out of the game, and the Pride will have free throws. It'll be Upshaw. Another timeout is called, I believe, by Doug Wojcik. That's his final one. So the sides go back into the huddle. Zeke Upshaw with huge free throws coming up. It's a 2-point game. He has a chance to make it a 4-point game a two-possession game as 7/10 of a second, I believe, came off the clock off of that inbound. So it's 13.8. Upshaw will be at the line to shoot as the Cougars come out of the timeout.
That's 4 players who fouled out so
Yeah.
far for the College of Charleston, and Johnson, their leading scorer, is out of this ball game, and that's huge too. You have to think to coming into these last seconds for a possible long-range three, their best three-point shooters out of the game as Upshaw misses his first free throw.
So the best he can do now is put Hofstra up by 3 with 13.8 seconds remaining in the game. Upshaw looking to put up his second free throw, and he hits it. 74-71. Hofstra by 3, Cougar basketball. It's Cheely who crosses half court. Right side, he'll take the 3. 10 on the game clock, no good. Rebound goes out to Thomas. Top of the key for Cheely. Now right wing, three-pointer taken by Stitt, no good. Wishon grabs the rebound, but Wakone holds on to it, and a foul is called. It's going to go against Wishon. Wakone will go to the line and shoot for Hofstra. And now you can hear the fans on their feet at the Mack. 1 second and 7/10 remaining. Wakone with a chance to ice it. Hofstra's up by 3, 74-71. One free throw should do it. We put Hofstra up by 4 with less than 2 seconds remaining. The Cougars do have one more timeout. We'll see if they use it. Wakone's first free throw is good. 75-71. Hofstra leads the Cougars on its way to win number 1 in the Colonial of the season. This is the Cougars' second game ever as a member of the CAA, and it could be their first loss. They won their opener against JMU. Second is no good. Thomas the rebound. He dribbles it out. The Cougars don't do anything, and that's it. Well, this is Hofstra's biggest win of the year, and it's an upset in the CAA, 75-71. The first conference win in the Joe Mihalik era as the Pride knock off the Cougars.
What a better way, not a better way to win this game, to finish this game than Stephen Wakone getting the rebound and then knocking down ultimately the game-winning free throw to put it away. What an unbelievable game by the senior. 13 points, 15 rebounds, out-rebounding the two others, Willis Hall and Baru, who were coming into this ball game thinking that they were going to own the glass. Not so fast. Stephen Wakone, great job, his best game so far of this season.
And assistant coach Shane Nichols will make his way over to press row. I'm sure he's going to be excited to talk about this one as coach puts on the headset. Coach, you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
First of all, congratulations on getting your first win in the Colonial this season. Tell me, what did this one come down to? We saw the matchup down low with Wakone, Kone, and Baru, and that seemed to be a focal point in this game.
Well, we really knew coming in that Baru and Willis Hall, were one of the two best bigs in the league. And we challenged him, Wakone and Musa Kone and Jordan Allen to battle these guys. And they really stepped up. I thought they fought, they defended, they rebounded, and those were two big keys that we needed to do to win this game.
Coach, what can you say about the play of Stephen Wakone? 13 points, 15 rebounds. He really outplayed their two big men, and would you say might have played the best game of the season so far?
He was unbelievable, and I'm going to tell you a funny story. We were going through the scouting report, and I was going through Baru, and I said, Baru's average of 9 points, 9 rebounds. And afterwards, Stephen came up to me and said, Coach, he's not averaging 9 rebounds. He's averaging 7.8. And it was good because he was doing his homework on this guy. He was studying up on this guy. And I said, all right, Steve, I lied, trying to embellish it a little bit. But, he responded very well. And I thought our team grew up tonight.
Now talk about the offense for Hofstra. 5 players scoring double digits. A pretty nice job spreading it out today.
Guys stepped up, and we wanted to win in the worst way today. Our guys really fought, and we shared the ball, and that was one of our keys: to share the ball movement, player movement, and we did a good job of that tonight.
All right, Coach Nichols, thanks so much for the time, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Again, assistant coach Shane Nichols for the Hofstra Pride as Hofstra knocks off the College of Charleston 75-71. And Cody, kind of a historic day here at the Mack. This is the Cougars' first ever game against Hofstra, their second ever game in the Colonial, and they fall to the Pride. And if you look at the Cougars' schedule, this might be their toughest loss of the season.
It really might be, and if you look back at the first half, and basically 90% of that first half, you thought that this game was going to have a chance to get away from the Pride, but they just kept fighting. They went on that run to end the first half, gave them some confidence, gave them some momentum going into the locker room. They came out of the locker room a little bit slow, but again, those runs are what helped them. They stayed in the ball game. For the better part of the second half, the game was tied or they were within 2 or 3 points. Ultimately, the end of the game, those last 5 minutes where you win ball games, is where it really came down to how they won this game. The free throw line, they started hitting their free throws. They started drawing fouls. They started getting open looks. They started playing defense. And, of course, it helps that Baru fouled out. They had 4 guys who fouled out of this ball game, including their leading scorer in Norris Johnson.
I think this is an encouraging game for Hofstra because it seems like this is the win that Hofstra just could not pull out all season long. And it comes in, I think you could say, their biggest win of the year. Their second conference game, looking to avoid starting 0-2 in the CAA, a season they were picked last, and they end up knocking off one of the projected top 3 teams in the Colonial, a brand new opponent, Norris Johnson, the game's leading scorer, 25 points, an unfathomable 7 of 11 from downtown. And it seems like they had the 3-ball going all night long, and that's what kept them in it late, especially with their last few possessions.
It sure did. They hit a couple cold-blooded 3-pointers from late in the ball game, including Anthony Stitt. He hit a couple right in the face of Deion Nesmith and Zeke Upshaw that kept them in the game or gave them a lead. But again, Hofstra kept fighting, never quit. They stayed in the ball game themselves. Like you said, hands down, best win of the year.
Joe Mihalik, 166 career wins as a head coach in the Mack, and he picks up number 1 in the Colonial today. Hofstra beats Charleston 75-71. Cody, your final thoughts?
The momentum. They can take this game and really ride with it. They've struggled so far this year, only 5 wins. They're 5-11, but now 1-1 in conference. And when it comes down to it, conference is really the only thing that matters. That's what gets you those tournament bids and really gets you going. If they can get this momentum going, it started at Delaware. They played well at Delaware, came up short again. But this game, they know now that they can win close games.
Hofstra now 5-11 overall, 1-1 in the Colonial. That's going to do it for Cody, Dan, and I here at the Mack. Final score, Hofstra 75 and the College of Charleston 71 as the Cougars fall in their first game here in Hempstead. That's going to do it for us here on site. Now let's send it back to our Hempstead studios. Rich DeCourt and the guys have the post-game edition of The Locker Room. Rich, take it away.